See on a Tuesday, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. 202, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. No Jamie Rivers this week. Jamie's on vacation. As the Blues are off, so is he. He'll be back at some point next week, so looking forward to having Jamie back on the show. But we got you covered for the next 4 hours. As always, Air Comfort Service text line is 314-399-9646. If you want to leave us a text message, we'll be talking plenty of Cardinals today, but we'll slip in some Blues and football as well. If you want to discuss anything, great. Again, Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We also have the 101 ESPN Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's mobile app. If you want to leave us a Scott Lee Heating Company mic drop, you can do so as well.
I don't know why my computer is the only one that when I do go to normal websites, I went to the YouTube page and now I get the ad is playing and it's loud. I'm like, what? It's almost like someone set me up.
Are we the only show that has so many issues?
We're just such a dysfunctional family.
We really are.
But we make it work, you know?
We're like the Eagles. The Eagles are so dysfunctional, but now they're Super Bowl champions.
100%.
I don't know if we'll ever be Super Bowl champions, say for Carey, but
still time, man.
Maybe Super Bowl champions are in the radio industry.
Oh, that's what is there an award? Like I know the Tonys and
Marconi.
Marconi.
Mm-hmm.
Marconi.
How do you get one of those?
No idea.
Who do you have to talk to?
Never won one. Never won one.
Who do you have to talk to? They got Emmys for TV.
Yeah.
And so how do we get a Marconi for? Call somebody and Snake Pit. I need you all to figure that out. Help us out.
Snake your way into
that conversation.
Right.
Text line. Help us out.
All right. So we start today's show with a note from Jeff Passan. So STL Sports Central at STL Sports CNTRL if you want to follow them on Twitter. They grabbed kind of a screenshot of what Jeff Passan wrote about Nolan Arenado, the Red Sox, and the current situation. And here's an update. Let me start at the beginning. Unless the Cardinals are willing to budge on the money they'll retain in a Nolan Arenado trade, Boston's interest is iffy. Again, according to ESPN's Jeff Passan. Boston's interest is iffy in Arenado. Other reported landing spots include the Yankees and Carey's Dodgers, but they're seen as long shots, according to Passan. He goes on to write that the analytical model that the Boston Red Sox use, that's kind of their style. The Red Sox will set a number they're willing to take on, and they won't, they're not going to make any adjustments to that style. Passan mentions that St. Louis's lack of aggressiveness in dealing their talent is confounding executives around the industry. Dealing Arenado all comes down to the Cardinals willing to eat more money on his remaining 3-year, $64 million contract. There's a couple of different ways that we can look at this, but why don't we just start off with the kind of the basics here. Boston's interest in Arenado is now iffy. We're back now all of a sudden in the camp of, I don't see how a deal is done. If it's true that teams continue to be confounded, to use Passan's word, confounded by the Cardinals' approach to all this, to me it's a clear indication that they're not willing to eat the money at all.
The Cardinals?
The Cardinals aren't willing to eat the majority of the money, or even enough for teams to be seriously interested in Arenado.
Which is why the Astros, I think they were willing to take $50 million of it, was mind-blowing to me, which is why the Cardinals were like, hell yeah, well, sure. We'll trade him. You're going to take $50 million? We'll take the other 14, not a problem.
Right.
Whereas I think other teams are like, you don't want him. Why the hell should we help you? This is what I said the last couple of days. When you make an announcement that this is your main priority, you're basically telling me you don't want him on your roster. Okay, cool. Meaning you're going to get rid of him at all costs. Cool. And you want me to take the majority of the salary? That's not good business on my end. Mm-hmm. Why would I do that when I know you don't want him on your roster?
Yeah.
You should be giving him away. Like, you should, we're trying, but no, we're going to give him away, but you got to take the bulk of the salary. No, sir. That's not how business works, especially when you show me your hand. You have told me you don't want this man on your roster. You want to cut salary. Okay, you can cut salary. You just ain't going to cut it by $50 million.
Right.
You might cut it by 20, and you pay the other 44.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. But you're not going to cut it by 50. And you get the benefit of paying less money and keeping less money on your books? No. So this does not surprise me. I feel like it was a bad move by the Cardinals to even speak that out loud. And you hear people saying, well, everybody knows they want to get rid of Arenado. Do they?
Yeah.
At what cost? Because you're essentially saying, you literally said, and this is what BK reported, it's priority number 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds pretty damn important to me. If it's that important, cool. We'll keep some of the salary and we'll make it happen. If not, I don't give a damn. I didn't have him on my team last year. It doesn't matter if I don't have him on my team this year.
Yeah, I want him if you're the Red Sox, if you're the Yankees, you're the Dodgers, whoever. Let's just stick with the Red Sox here. You want Nolan Arenado at your price.
Correct.
This is the Rockies price that the Cardinals were willing to pay. So now it became the Cardinals price. The Cardinals were comfortable paying Nolan Arenado the rest of the salary, save for whatever the Rockies continue to pick up. The Red Sox now have an opportunity to say, no, we want him at our price, which is significantly lower, perhaps, than the one you're currently paying now, which is 3 years and $64 million. What is the goal? If you're the Cardinals, what is the goal? Because you do have an avenue to get to your goal. For example, let's just say the goal is dumping the salary. Mm-hmm. Dumping as much as the salary as possible. That could be your goal. That'd be nice. If that's your goal, the sacrifice is, one, you're not going to get anything in return. You're not going to, you may get a prospect, but it's going to be a low-level prospect that really has no value to the Red Sox. But that could be your goal. Shed the salary, sacrifice is we take on less of a package in terms of prospects. Okay. Your other goal might be to jumpstart this retool. And in order to jumpstart the retool, you want to have a bunch of guys in your farm system that you think project well to make it to the big leagues. So if you do that and you're willing to absorb some of the money or a significant portion of the money, you get that better return. Sacrifice is you're going to have to absorb some money. If your other goal is to just flat out create an open spot for a young player like Nolan Gorman, for example, well, now we're back to the second goal. Those two things match well, but you're going to have to pay. Again, it's your contract.
That's not their goal, though.
What is the goal?
And that's what Jamie is
to
mentioning.
get rid of money.
Yeah.
If it's to get rid of money, good luck.
Yeah.
You had the deal with the Astros. He nixed it. Cool. Who else is... No, the Red Sox aren't going to pay that.
Mm-hmm. Anthony, correct me. What... Rafael Devers was their third baseman last year. What is he going? Where is he going? Where are they going to put him in?
He could play first base or DH. Probably DH because Castens is there.
So they're okay. But my point being, they got a third baseman.
They don't have to have one. Yeah. Arenado would be your third baseman if they were a player.
At the price I want to pay.
Correct. Yes.
It's not like I'm without this position. I may want to move him, but Rafael Devers played 130 games at the position last year. So it's not like, and he's pretty damn good last time I checked.
Yeah.
So it's not like I have to do anything you want me to do.
Nope.
You're asking me to take something off of your hands and you want me to pay more for it when you actually don't want it anymore. Mm-hmm. But you want me to pay more? You don't want it. Why would I pay more? I'll pay you less. That's how business works. That's when you're trying to sell something, buy something, you've already lowered the price on it. So I'm not going to give you more of what you want when you don't want this commodity. I'm going to give you less. And if that's not what you want to do, you'll end up paying the entire salary anyways.
Right.
So what is the ultimate goal? Back to what Marcy said, back to what you said. Mm-hmm. And Jamie has said it multiple times. Mm-hmm. It feels like it's not about opening spots for younger players, it's literally about getting money off of the books.
That's the byproduct to getting the money off.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Well, now we have now we got a bunch of young guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at us. No, that's not your. So it's becoming more clearer as we go along that the ultimate goal is money. It's not about players. It's not about younger players. It's not about an opportunity for Nolan Gorman to play every day. It's more about an opportunity to get this damn money off the books because I don't want to have to pay this because fans not showing up and we're losing money. And then it goes back to the conversation we're having in the office about transparency versus, not being truthful and not telling your fan base what exactly is going on. And then you become frustrated as a fan, like, oh, you think I'm dumb. Oh, you think I'm stupid. You think you're more intelligent than me because you were fortunate enough to become what you've become in life. But now you're playing on my intelligence, and now I'm bothered. So again, I think transparency is an awesome thing, especially when you are looking for people to buy your product, show up for your product, be in attendance, and that's how you make money. But you're lying to people and you're not being honest, it becomes frustrating.
And Carey, you always talk about, when you played the game of football, you didn't want to really impress the outside noise or hell, even your coaches, right?
Correct.
You cared more about your peers. And the one thing from this that I took away, it says that Passan mentions that St. Louis's lack of aggressiveness in dealing their talent is confounding executives around the industry. That means people, their peers in the front office of the Cardinals, are shocked and surprised at what they are doing right now, and they're not impressed. What does that say about what the Cardinals are doing right now when a lot of other people in baseball think what they're doing is ridiculous and how they're going about it?
Well, let's take. They don't even think it's ridiculous. They don't know what they're doing.
Right.
They're confounded. So that means they're confused.
They're shocked or whatever.
Right. So we're here having the conversation about what the goal is. Other teams don't know what the goal is. How are you supposed to make deals with other teams when they don't have a clear idea what you're doing? If you want to make a trade, hey, I need this, you need that, let's work it out. But if the other team doesn't know that, doesn't know what the game plan is, doesn't know what you're doing, you're half in, you're half out, which the Cardinals, by the way, have been now for 10 years. They've been in this, and I've said this repeatedly on these airwaves. They've got one foot in one box and the other foot in the other box. One box is we want to improve, but only if we stay, in that $50 to $70 million range in free agency. Then in the other box, it's like, hey, we believe in drafting and developing, but we don't necessarily. We're not great at the developing parts. You're constantly chasing two rabbits at one time, and you got nothing to show for it.
And I don't think this is necessarily with the Arenado thing. For me, this is with the Helsley thing. Like, why are you holding on to Helsley?
Right. Yeah.
That's probably where a lot of this comes from.
And we want to draft a develop. Again, there's a lot of confusion in terms of what the goal is. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. What grade would you give the Blues heading into the Four Nations break? So based on expectations, based on performance, what grade would we give the Blues? We'll give you our answer plus, what did I say?
You just buried them.
What?
You said grave.
You put them in the grave already,
you
Anthony.
Buried them.
You buried them before the Four Nations break even started.
Would you give them, what grade? Sorry. Grade would you give the Blues?
Give them a nice headstone.
Heading into the Four Nations break. It's probably appropriate, Marsh. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey Davis. And fellas, if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit BlueChew.com. If you're ready for a great gift, how about free? Go to BlueChew.com, consult with a licensed medical provider, and get your first month free. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it. Fellas, it's almost Valentine's Day. Your partner doesn't really care about chocolates. They might not care about flowers, but they do care about Blue Chew. Your partner wants you to perform and do whatever it takes to make your sex life better. And Blue Chew is your secret weapon for the bedroom or wherever you decide to get it on. Us pro athletes, we would train every day to perform better on the field. But what if you could improve your performance in the bedroom? No training required. That's right. I'm talking about BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy, and it ships directly to your door in a discreet package. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA, and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. All you need to do is go to BlueChew.com. That's BlueChew.com. Chew it and do it.
For this season, I give the Blues players a grade of a D. They've simply fallen flat and have regressed from where they were last year, with the exception of Kyrou and Parayko. For management, I give a grade of a B+. They made great acquisitions in Holloway and Broberg. Suter has worked out well, and the Fowler trade has worked out well. Hopefully the last half can either look better or land them a top draft pick.
That was Grant Francis' fan club, who left us a Scott Lee Heating Company mic drop via the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. So it was kind of interesting that he did the both. You know, he did the front office and then he did the players. He had different grades on each, and it's kind of an interesting dichotomy too when you think about the front office receiving a pretty good grade of, hey, they put the team together, yet the production isn't there. And therefore, the players get a D. I understand, though. I understand where he's going with it, because they should be better than what they were a year ago, and yet they're not.
They are.
Are they?
You don't feel like they're better?
I think from a records-wise, they're probably going to finish below what from a point standpoint. I think they're going to finish below what they had a year ago.
I think record-wise, they may not be as good as they were, but I think when you watch the product, it's slightly better. Mm-hmm. I think there's more hope than there has been the last couple of years. I think you look at this team and feel like, okay, they can put some things together, right? It's just inconsistent, right? We talked about it yesterday, the amount of turnovers that they had against the Blackhawks. That, to me, is a team that is not taking care of their business, not being fundamentally sound. Those are things that can be corrected. Sometimes it's, I'm trying to make a play. I'm trying to do something to give us a boost or get us going, and it's not just the simple pass or the simple play. You're trying to do something extra that turns out to be something that's not good. If you correct those things, and I think they do need a superstar. Like, I think you need one guy that, he's going to score, he's going to make plays, he's going to be the guy. I don't know if Jordan Kyrou has that capability. I think he has the potential to be a really, really high-level star. I don't know if he has superstar in him. Maybe he does. It hasn't been unlocked yet. Normally, by this time, when players are superstars, he's, 6-7 years in the league? Mm-hmm. You're a superstar by this point. So he might be a star with the potential to be really good, but not a superstar. So I think they need that caliber of a player. And, I think I would give them a C-, which is middle to below average.
Mm-hmm. So, CD, you said C-. Marsh, what about you?
I would say C- to D+. At this time last year, Blues were a better team. Mm-hmm. They were a better team. They had more points in less games. They had 58 points. Now they have 55. And they had 28 wins, 21 losses, and 2 overtime losses. This team has regressed.
Yeah.
On paper, I think heading into the year, you would say that the team got better, but the on-ice product is the same. It's the same as it has been the past few years. To me, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. They're just average right now. Now they have more time left in the season to change said narrative, but if they don't do it quickly out of the gate, and they have some tough matchups after the Four Nations break, if they don't get their act together right away, this team's not making the playoffs.
They didn't make the playoffs last year or the year before. Would you say that you are more excited about younger players, like when you got the addition of Broberg and Holloway? You didn't have that last year. I think like you replaced some of those guys. You had Kevin Hayes and you had Jakub Vrana and you had Kasperi Kapanen. I think this team is more exciting with these players now. They just haven't pulled it together. Like those guys, Kevin Hayes didn't do much of anything that you felt like,
right,
this is a great sign. And you're like, what are we doing here? Mm-hmm. Right? So I think you're better with the talent that you have. They just haven't collectively pulled it together.
Right, and I think that starts with your top guys. Your top guys have not been your best players. I mean, they have, essentially, but they're not playing the way that you should be playing right now if you want to be a playoff team. To me, like, I don't know where, like, if you want to make a diagram or a little graphic of, like, the guy going up the mountain, right? Like, I don't know where the Blues are on that mountain trying to get back to what they need to be. Maybe they've fallen down a little bit, or to me, maybe they haven't even moved. I just don't think they've moved the needle this year in terms of their retool.
I think they have in some regards, and then in others they've kind of taken a step back. For example, I think that they've moved the boulder up the hill a little bit.
Boulder, yes.
Yeah. I got what you're saying.
Thanks,
I think that they've moved the boulder up the hill a little bit with the additions of Broberg and Holloway. I mean, those are two guys that are going to be a part of this foundation moving forward. You feel great about that. Colton Parayko's had an excellent season. Kyrou has transformed more into the player that the more well-rounded player. He's never gonna be Robert Thomas in terms of 200-foot game and all that, but he looks better now. So I do think that Boulder's moving up a little bit. Syphius, by the way, is from Frick James. That was the.
What is that?
That's the
guy.
The guy.
The boulder?
Yeah.
The person moving the boulder?
Yes, moving the boulder up the hill.
Up the hill?
What's his name?
Syphius.
You should let the boulder go downhill. It's harder to go uphill with a boulder.
Well, he had to push it up there for some reason. I can't remember what the exact story was.
It's not a boulder, it's a rock.
Yeah, rock, which is a boulder, right?
Boulder, Colorado?
No, not Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
I heard it's a cool place, Carey.
Yeah, sure it is. Prime got those guys. Marshall Faulk just signed as the running back coach there.
That Boulder now is starting to come back a little bit, though, because Robert Thomas is not having the year that you expected. Pavel Buchnevich, whose contract kicks in next year, the extension comes back next year. Like, that hasn't looked good. So it's one step forward, two steps back.
Well, it's like if they're all pushing said boulder, let's say it's a big boulder, right? And you need more than just one person. So we have this picture of, a bunch of people moving this boulder up. And, you had some guys who were moving the boulder up. And now this year you're like, wow, we got some new guys in here, some strong guys that can help move this boulder. I'm going to go ahead and take a 5-minute break. Well, now the boulder's not moving that much anymore because not everybody is doing their job.
Right.
Efficiently.
Right.
And effectively.
Apparently I hacked up the name. Sisyphus. I don't know. One of those. Choose one. Anyways, guy eventually got the boulder up the hill.
Did he?
I don't know. Might have died while doing it. Who knows? That's the snake pit. They know what's going on.
Indiana Jones ran from a boulder.
Yeah, he did. He wasn't pushing that thing. He's like, to hell with it. I'm just going to go back. I give him a C- too. I give him a C- on the year. I have seen, kind of like Marsh, there's been some improvement, but not enough where you think that this retool is completely on track. The one area I will contradict myself, though, is you got Jim Montgomery. And I do think that Jim Montgomery is the key to getting this thing going in the right direction. But he needs a guy. He needs his guys. He needs top-end talent in order to make all this come together. He had more talent in Boston. And 2 years ago, they had an incredible year. This past year, I don't know what happened to let him for him to get fired, but nonetheless, I'm glad he's here. If Doug Armstrong can continue to get the top end players in, or these players that he does have continue to make leaps and bounds in their development, I do think that everything's in place. But you've got some contracts now you have to deal with that will limit you.
Do you think the Blues need to make like a hockey trade and get like a Ryan O'Reilly, Tyler Bozak type move? Like that set
Ryan
everything
O'Reilly
in motion.
You're talking about like Ryan O'Reilly from Buffalo, not Ryan O'Reilly now?
Right. Like when they went out and got Ryan O'Reilly from Buffalo, they went out and got Tyler Bozak. They brought back David Perron. Like, is it something like that was a shakeup? Like, you got rid of Patrick Berglund, who had been with the team for quite some time, but he was a part of that core piece, the core group that couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you need to do that, if that ultimately jumpstarts the retool. Is he willing to do that? Maybe. We know Doug Armstrong. He's willing to do anything.
Right.
So I wonder if that's something that they end up doing this offseason based on what we've seen this season.
Yeah. Yeah, there probably needs to be several moves to get them over the hump. Hopefully they have the right mix, though, too. And that's just one question that we can't answer because we're not in the locker room every single day. I don't know if the mix is right for right now. Certainly was in 19, but we all thought it wasn't. So, I don't know. It's kind of a strange times right now when it comes to the Blues. What's trending is next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Right now at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, they got their Love at First Drive sales events. They've got in stock when it comes to Nissans with over 700 new and used vehicles all in one location. Heavily discounted prices on every car, truck, van in stock. New Nissans discounted up to $10,000 off with sales prices starting under $23,000 off on select models. 0 down and no payments for 3 months on select used vehicles or no payments for 6 months. That's right. No payments for 6 months going on right now on select new Nissans. Plus, great low financing rates with terms of up to 84 months. And it's all there at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. 2025 Nissan models come with a free lifetime warranty and 3 free oil changes. Plus, you're going to get that peace of mind coverage with that 30-day return promise. Within 30 days, if you're not completely satisfied with the vehicle, you're not completely in love with the vehicle, bring it back. They'll refund your money, and they'll set you up with something that you do love. If you've got credit issues or if you're stuck with the current loan, don't worry. They will deliver at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. While others overpromise, they underdeliver. Auto Centers Nissan, they're confident that anyone who walks through the doors can drive away in a brand new Nissan. Check them out in Herculaneum. It's Auto Centers Nissan.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues are off for the Four Nations break. They'll take on the Winnipeg Jets on the 22nd. But for now, you get to watch Jordan Bennington and Colton Parayko represent Team Canada. I'm sure you'll be rooting for them, but also for the United States. And we'll have some of those Four Nations game for you. Tomorrow, Canada takes on Sweden. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Tonight, though, we'll have some college hoops as Creighton takes on Anthony's UConn Huskies. Pregame starts at 7:45. Tip-off is at 8. Coming up next, we have What's Trending. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
topics in the sports world.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending? Brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, John Cooper announced that Jordan Binnington will get the nod as Team Canada's starting netminder as they take on Sweden tomorrow, which you can listen to right here on 101 ESPN. This is huge for Jordan Binnington. I think a lot of people around the league that are not St. Louis fans don't really like Jordan Binnington. And of course, Dom from the Athletic doesn't, or at least he didn't like Colton Parayko. He probably doesn't like Jordan Binnington either. Do you think that this tournament could change, depending on how they play, could change their basically how people around the NHL view these two players?
Ooh, I mean, I think it can especially if they play very, very well. I think it can help. You know, the national media. I think sometimes, normally, like you don't pay attention to people outside of your team, your region, if it's not a superstar, and it's not one of those names that people come across and like, oh yeah, Connor McDavid. You don't have to be in Edmonton to know who he is and what he's done. So I think if they perform extremely well, maybe, have a run there and they have a lot of success. Jordan Binnington is standing on his head. Colton Parayko is playing sound defense and man, shooting that slap shot like he has been the last month or so. And maybe people will start listening and looking and like, oh, those guys are actually better than we thought.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it'll change their perception of him. I mean, I think people enjoy not liking certain players, and I think Binnington has gotten under enough people's skin where that I don't, unless he plays for your team.
It's different when you're representing. No, I think it could change the minds of Canadians. Maybe not so much fans in the United States.
Right.
So
if he's playing for your team and he does well and helps you win big, then all is forgiven.
Yeah.
If not, I think that people just enjoy rooting against him because of the way that he has acted in the past. I mean, we really haven't seen it in a while now.
Right.
But it's hard to shake the reputation.
I found this to be interesting. And, Carey, you've been in an NFL locker room before. This is from ESPN.com. Associated Press put this out. Steve Smith Sr., we remember him from the Carolina Panthers. He is not too happy with Cam Newton. Cam Newton likes to talk, and Cam Newton appeared on the Travis Hunter show. We all know Travis Hunter might be the first overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft. And this is what he had to say, Cam Newton. You could potentially be the first pick, but bro, you have no way of impacting the game the way a quarterback does. You can lock down the number one receiver. You can make impact plays on offense all you want, but it's still not like a quarterback. My issue is that when I was the first pick, I went into a locker room of losers. Just honest. Guys didn't know how to win. Guys didn't know how to prepare. They didn't take themselves serious to realize we was 2-14. There was a lot of 2-14 in the mentality of those guys. If you're Steve Smith Sr., are you justified in being upset with what Cam Newton had to say?
Yep. Yeah, you are. You're okay, saying that this team, what you spoke about in terms of this team is to say that there were 52 losers is kind of ridiculous, right? Guys go out there and work their butts off. I was telling you all in the office that no one ever expects their team to be terrible. Like you go into the season with the expectation that you're going to win every game. And then by week 8 or 9, you're like, oh, we're not really good, fellas. But going into the season, you definitely have high hopes and high expectations. I don't think Cam meant it in that way, but sometimes this is one thing, especially being a former player and being in media, that I'm very conscious of, to not disparage current players or talk bad about former players or teammates, because when we're all in, we're all in. Like, we all have the same for the most part, same work ethic, same mentality, one common goal. That's what makes sports such a beautiful place. You got people from different backgrounds, different mindset, different colors, that come together for one common goal. But to be in the media now and to say something like that, and Steve Smith is far from a loser. Mm-hmm. Like I think Thomas Davis was on that team. I think D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart, those guys weren't losers. Mm-hmm. Were they on a losing team? Yeah. They weren't a good team, but you got guys that are really good athletes and really good players, and to come in and say, oh, they were losers. Again, I think it's probably taken out of context, but Cam hasn't come out and said, I didn't mean that the entire team was losers. I just meant they had a losing season or a couple of losing seasons. It can get kind of murky, and it can ruin friendships. Like Steve Smith Sr. and Cam may have been good friends. They were teammates for a while, and now you're looking at it like, yeah, hell with that dude. Mm-hmm. I don't have anything to say to him. So it can ruin some things, but it's unfortunate.
The longer that you have been out of the NFL, CD, do things change for you in terms of how you view things? Because it sounds like for Cam Newton, it does. He almost like reflects and has almost a different viewpoint on things than when he played.
I think it does for some people. I think it changes some people's mindset and how they view their time or their teammates or their players. But I think, again, you should always, I don't care if you played one down in the NFL or if you played 15 years or you played 20 years like Tom Brady. Like, to get there in itself is a feat. Yeah. To be able to be on a practice squad, to be able to be on a roster, to play one snap, to play 100 snaps, to play, however many snaps you play, how many games you play, it's a feat. It's hard. And I just don't think you should disrespect somebody that was able to make it to that level, because there are many people that would love to that are unable to. Yeah. And, for me, I just feel like the further away you get from it, don't lose that thought process, that mindset of the work that it took and how hard it is on your family and on your friends and on you to be there. You just got to keep that in mind and keep being respectful of the talent. But Cam, he may be, because he was so talented, he might not view it in that way. Mm-hmm. He's a number 1 overall pick. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. He's an MVP. He led his team to a 15-1 record. Like, all of those things, he might look at it differently. Yeah. But at the end of the day, everybody in that locker room has to put their hand in and pull and push towards the same direction. Otherwise, it won't work.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. That's what's trending. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers on vacation for now. How does the mindset from Oli Marmol, and Oli Marmol did speak down in spring training about what the mindset is going into the season, and of course he's setting expectations for his players high. But how does the mindset from Oli Marmol compare to Doug Armstrong in the Blues, where Army is a little bit more blunt in his assessment? Like, for example, we're a third place team, or maybe we get a wild card. And is there any benefit to ever answering the question of where do you think this team could be when it comes to the standings? That's next on 101 ESPN. upbeat NBA theme song or something, doesn't it?
I was ready. I was good.
Is the heart of a champion.
With Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. It's a Fast Line on 101 ESPN. John Denton of MLB.com put together an article that said Cardinals youth prime to rise to lofty expectations in 2025. We want to focus on a couple of statements that Oli Marmol made. Here's what the manager of your Cardinals said. He said, "I don't think you adjust that," meaning the expectations for the upcoming season. I think that's an error if you adjust that for inexperience, because he's got so many young players that you want to set proper expectations. You're tapping into their willingness to go hard, and I don't think you cap that at all. That is the exciting part. They understand their responsibilities, where they're playing, and that's in St. Louis, which is meaningful, and the style of baseball that's expected. When you look at the young core, or young group, I should say, starting behind the plate with Pedro Pages and Ivan Herrera, Brendan Donovan, Nolan Gorman, Mason Wynn, Lars Newbar, Jordan Walker, and Victor Scott. It's a lot of homegrown dudes who understand the tradition of this organization. You don't put a ceiling on expectations at all. You talk about winning baseball games and coming together as a team to do that, and then you allow them to run really hard in that direction. This contrasts a little bit with the way that Doug Armstrong has spoke to the media in the past, in the most recent past, talking about proper expectations and where he would set the expectations. I think it was a year ago that he said, we expect to kind of challenge for, one of the wild card spots, right? I've got a thought on whether or not there's any benefit to answering a question like this, but CD, for you, I would imagine as a player, you always have that mindset that you're going to win a championship, regardless of what anybody else is saying on the outside, or even if it's a complete rebuild. Why play the season if you're not going to have high expectations for yourself and your teammates?
Well, I was telling you all earlier that as a player, you never assume that you're going to be a bad team. Yeah. Like, whether you're hearing it from Doug Armstrong, who's saying we might be a team that makes the playoffs, we might finish third. You're like, fast lane that guy, whatever the hell he's talking about, we're going to win it all. He doesn't know spit, right? Or if you're hearing what Oli Marmol is saying, like, yeah, we know the where we're playing and we understand what this means. You're like, hell yeah, we do. Yeah, we're going to win it all. Like, so in both of those situations as a player, whatever motivation you need to make you feel like you're capable of doing it, or whatever extra push you need to make you feel like you're capable of doing it, you'll use that. And so I think the difference between, and I was telling Marsh this, I think the difference between what Oli is saying and what Army is saying is it's the Cardinals versus the Blues. Like, there is an expectation when you're the Cardinals that you're supposed to make the playoffs every year. You don't get time, in my opinion, to take a deep breath. Okay, let's reset. No, you're the St. Louis Cardinals. You have the second most championships in Major League Baseball. You don't get to breathe. You don't get to reset. You got to go, figure it out every single year. If you're not playing in the NLCS or the World Series, you had a failed season. Like, that's the expectation. And I've said this time and time again, it is the same exact way with the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you're not playing in an AFC championship game or playing in the Super Bowl, you had a failed season. They don't care that Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. What have you done for me lately, Mike? You ain't been to the Super Bowl. You ain't been to the AFC Championship game. Don't give a damn. So that's the mindset. So when you're in St. Louis as a Cardinal or a Cardinal fan, the expectation is championship or bust. NLCS or bust. One game away from the championship. Come on, give me at least that.
Right.
Not, losing in the first round in the wild card to the Phillies, who eventually go on and play in the World Series. Like, that's not the expectation, and that's not good enough.
And I think what Oli is saying is completely different in a sense than what Doug Armstrong said. Like, Doug Armstrong was talking to the fans, whereas Oli Marmol is essentially talking to his players. It'd be different if Oli Marmol came out and talking to the fans and saying, or if it was Mo saying, like, yeah, we're gonna win the division. We expect to win the division. When we all know, looking at this roster and what has happened in the past few years, that's probably not going to happen.
Right.
But there is and should be high expectations from your players, because we need to see what you are. What are you? Are you going to be a great ball player? Are you going to be a good ball player? Or are you going to be a guy that we move on from? Like, what are you going to be? You have to prove that and show that this upcoming season, because now is the time. Now is the time to do that. I think it's a little bit different, but I also think that it is a little interesting, I guess is the word to use here, when you do have like a general manager saying, oh, yeah, I think we're going to be a third-place team. Like, it's good to hear from a fan because there's transparency, but do you want to hear that as a player?
This is why I don't think there's a benefit to answering that question. I think it's good to do. Jamie puts a good spin on it sometimes when it comes from a PR standpoint. When you're asked a question like that, you say, hey, listen, we always have high expectations for the organization. There's going to be some growing pains along the way. We certainly know that. There's going to be ups and downs when it comes to the season, but it's how we manage it. When everything is all said and done, we feel really good about what we have in the team, but we'll find out. Now it's time to prove it. I do not think saying third place, first place, we want to win it all is ever beneficial. 2 examples of that. If you say we always have the expectation, we're the St. Louis Cardinals, we always have the expectation that we're going to win it all.
No, they just say win the division.
Whatever. Let's just say
Fans say win it all.
Yeah.
They just say get in. We'll see how it goes.
Sure. I don't think anybody has ever said. I don't think anybody's ever said, let's win the division. They always say, our goal is to win the division. Well, actually, maybe they do say that, don't they?
I'm pretty sure Gersh said that at the beginning of the season.
No, it's a good call. I stand corrected. But you say, hey, we're in St. Louis. Really, the championships are our expectation, right? Then you're sitting there in June, you're 4th place. Everybody's like, you said that this was a championship caliber team. Or on the other side of things, you're Doug Armstrong. You say, we think we're maybe a wild card contender. Like you said, Marsh, what is that saying to your players, your coaching staff, all that? Not much. So I think avoiding that question altogether or giving the stock answer, a lot of word salad, is the best way to go if you're a GM, a head coach, a manager. When it comes to expectations, love the group. Love the coaching staff. We'll see what happens moving forward here. Everybody's working hard.
You say we hope to put out a product that the fans will enjoy.
That's boring. That sounds like you think you're going to lose. Like that doesn't bode confidence.
We have high expectations here. We expect to win. We're putting in the work. We're doing really well. Love the roster. Exactly. I'd word salad you to death. Because answering that question. 3rd place. Oh, you don't believe in your team? No, I believe. Why'd you say 3rd place then? It just doesn't.
And then if you don't get 3rd place or make the playoffs, much like the Blues did, then some people have that feeling of, well, this team failed.
Right.
Like this team failed.
Yeah.
And now they didn't really say that this upcoming year, but we all expected the team to push forward because of the retool. Mm-hmm. And right now they're stuck outside of the playoffs. The Blues, that is. I think a lot of people don't have high expectations for this Cardinals team by any means, but maybe they'll surprise people. Who knows? But the Cardinals, what they say and what their actions are completely too different. They're just different.
Which leads to a lot of confusion, a lot of angst, a lot of frustration. It's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Does it say more about the Cardinals' inability to trade these veterans or the fact that they all wanted to stay, that guys like Sonny Gray and Contreras wanted back in here for the Cardinals? Some interesting thoughts by Mike Claiborne, longtime media member of the St. Louis area TV, radio. Claib's done it all. He was on with TMA yesterday. You'll hear what he had to say, and we'll kind of dive into that conversation because he made some interesting points on guys like Sonny Gray and Contreras. That's next on 101 ESPN. Hey, Missouri sports fans, got great news for you. Underdog is available in the state that we're in right now, Missouri. This basketball season, when your favorite stars score buckets or they get rebounds or assists, you can cash in big just by playing Underdog Fantasy. To play, choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats, points, assists, rebounds, and more. They've got it all fantasy. They got fantasy stats at Underdog Fantasy too. So you could choose higher on, Joel Embiid to, higher than his fantasy line that they have set for him. Or maybe you want to go lower. They've got your favorite leagues. And you can combine them as well. NBA, NHL, college basketball. They even have MMA when it comes to fantasy, Underdog Fantasy. You can play with as little as $1. If you get everything right, you can up to 1,000 times your money. So turn $1 into 1,000 just with your hoops knowledge. Download the Underdog app, sign up using the promo code Anthony to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with my promo code Anthony. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit to Underdog Fantasy. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Mike Claiborne, longtime TV and radio personality here in St. Louis, was on with the morning after yesterday. And one of the things that Claibs mentioned was about how Sonny Gray and Contreras stayed here in St. Louis, despite maybe some thought that they would get dealt this offseason. Here's Claibs on what he said about Gray and Contreras and what it says maybe about the Cardinals overall.
I think they thought Sonny Gray would say, get me out of here, But the fact is that this is close to his home in Nashville. He probably wanted to be here for that, not to move his family again. And also maybe be part of a rebuild, reset, retool. I mean, I don't know how much you guys have talked to him, but he's an interesting guy with the game and his approach. And I think a guy like that would be good for young pitchers and young people in just his method of preparation.
And what about Contreras? Surprised he didn't want to go?
Quite. I was because he basically had to get out of line and start over as a player, from catching to hitting, dealing with injury, and now you're going to put a first baseman's mitt in his hand and say, have at it.
Yeah, the Contreras one, both are interesting. I agree with Claves. They're both interesting that Sonny Gray, who signed with St. Louis, I would imagine under the premise that the Cardinals will continue to try to compete to win. Same thing with Nolan Arenado. When he was acquired from the Rockies, the idea was this is a team that basically had a window that was open, and they were going to continue to challenge in a weak NL Central and be good enough to get into the dance. And then who knows? Contreras, that one's a little different because he was going to be the heir apparent to Yachty. That had to be under consideration. Do you turn it over to a young player? Do you have a young player ready to go? That's some big shoes to fill. Why not go with the guy that's got a World Series ring that won't be intimidated by, being the next Cardinals catcher behind Yadier Molina? Right. But ultimately, CD, does it say more about the Cardinals' inability to trade the veterans or the fact that these veterans wanted to stay and perhaps finish what they started?
Well, I think when you're looking at Contreras, I think him moving to first base was probably, I don't know him, met him, but I don't know him personally. I think he was probably like, my first year I got thrown under the bus. Next year I got hit by a bat. I don't need to keep playing this position. What the hell am I doing? Like, this is beating me up. So moving to first base is probably going to extend his career longer. He's going to be able to, hopefully he picks up the position really well. He's a good enough athlete. He's played in the outfield, and they were talking about moving him to the outfield his first year here. So, I think he'll be fine there. I think he'll be able to focus on, not being behind the plate, not crouching down, worrying about your knees, and be able to focus on being the first baseman and hitting the baseball and staying in the lineup, which is something that the Cardinals needed. They needed his bat all year long, and he missed, multiple games because of injury. So him being at first base and not being behind the plate, I think will be beneficial to him. With Sonny Gray, I mean, I don't know if it's that he's from Nashville. I think they both came here with the expectation, and they both are, in my opinion, are winners, and want to win, probably want to win here, want to be a part of turning this thing around and restoring the legacy of the St. Louis Cardinals franchise and the organization, and being two main cogs that allow that to happen and help that happen. So I don't think it's that surprising, but you would have thought that the way that the Cardinals seem to be wanting to shed salary, that those would be two guys that they would be trying to get off the books as well, because it opens up more positions. It opens up more opportunities for younger guys. So I think that's why it's a bit conflicting. Is it about salary or is it about youth movement? What is it about that the Cardinals are trying to do? Because those would be two guys that you would be trying to get off the books quickly if it was truly only about salary.
They probably were. They probably were having those conversations. And that's why I think it says a lot about what these guys – want to do here in St. Louis, regardless, if the Cardinals aren't going to be a perennial contender, not only in the National League, but in their own division. I think it says a lot about them, and I think it says a lot about the city, too. Like, I think these guys like playing here. I think they do. I think that the media is a little softer.
Well, I don't think there's any question about that. I think we are soft.
We are overall. Tough as they come.
Compared to other
speaking,
markets.
I think this
New York got nothing on us, Anthony. New York, Philly, this guy's got nothing.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah,
I think it's a great place to raise a family. And there's a reason why there's a ton of St. Louis Blues former players that stay here. Same with the Cardinals. There's a reason why people come back to St. Louis or stay here. It's a good place to raise a family. I think that all has to do with it as well.
We also we do this a lot as sports fans. We underestimate what a player is looking for. Not every player wants to win a championship. I'm sure every player Let me rephrase. I'm sure every player wants to win a championship. I don't know if that's always the number one reason, though, that they sign with a team.
If you're signing to the Cleveland Browns, you probably don't care about winning a championship.
You might be taking the money. I mean, Tommy Pham once said flat out, he's like, I'm taking the money, and
it depends on
they want me.
It depends on who you are and where you are in your career.
Right.
Some people are chasing the money because you're trying to establish that generational money where you can generational wealth where you're good for yourself, for your life and your kids and your kids' lives. That there's no shame in that.
Right.
I think when you sign with the Cardinals, I think the expectation is winning the championship. Like I think I think any player that has signed here, like I think that's the expectation.
You think that now?
I do.
Do you?
I still think that. I think when Wilson Contreras decided to sign in St. Louis, coming from Chicago, knowing the rivalry, knowing the history of this organization, it was to win a championship. I think the same thing with Sonny Gray. I think they are extremely competitive and very good at their craft, and I think that their expectation was it would be, you got Nolan Arenado, you got Paul Goldschmidt, you got an opportunity for a team that is supposed to be ready and poised to win. Now, it hasn't worked out that way, but I think that those two guys specifically believe that this still can be a championship team, and they're going to be part of the resurgence and the reason that it is.
Does that give you confidence, knowing that those guys have had, a really good career, that they want to stay here because they believe in this roster?
It doesn't give me confidence, and it doesn't not give me confidence. It's a nothing burger for me. I'll explain why, and I'll tie in something that Ellipsis 150 just said in the snake pit. Kirk Cousins knew he wasn't going to win a championship when he signed with the Falcons.
No question.
His wife's in Atlanta. His wife is from Atlanta. They were comfortable with it. Out of all the places that, he could have gone to, that one stood out. They needed a quarterback. And again, they had the roots there. He had even talked about staying with the in-laws from time to time right down the street from where the Falcons had their training camp. So this goes, Ellipsis 150 was taking a shot, which, hey, well done. But it goes into my point about how we don't always know what the player is doing in free agency when it comes to what his needs are. His family may want to, family may fall in love with one spot. Maybe his agent said, look, this is your best path to get a deal. Like Jamie signed with the Red Wings because his agent flat out told him, you're going to get money someplace else, but you're going to have a specific role. And you know what? You're there for a year or two, and then you're going to parlay that into another contract. We don't know. So when it comes to like Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras wanting to stay here, yeah, it's nice. It's great. You want to be a Cardinal. They want you. Fantastic. I think that's awesome. But it stops there for me. I'm not suddenly, hey, this is great news. Clearly, they see something that we don't. No, I just think it's a situation where Sonny Gray is happy here. Probably doesn't think the team's a total dumpster fire and feels like he can contribute.
Yeah.
That's as far as I'm going in terms of reading into that.
I think they believe that they can be part of the resurgence. Like, be part of the reason why this team wins championships.
Yeah, there's a pride to it, sure.
And you're going to pay me well enough to where I can, be accommodated and I'm good in that area. I think that was part of it.
Yeah.
That would just be my guess and the reason why they didn't want to leave. If you can go get paid elsewhere, get the same salary and have an opportunity to win, maybe on a roster that is more loaded. Like, some people don't want to join a roster that is already loaded and ready and poised to win. They want to say, no, I want to go against those guys. It's much sweeter to beat the Dodgers with all of their all-stars and all their deferred money and all the pitchers that they signed from all over the world and, the best team that's ever been created by man in baseball. There's a mindset for some players that want to go against the machine. And then some people want to be a part of the machine. I think Wilson Contreras is the hell with them. I'm going to do it my way. I think Sonny Gray is kind of the same mindset.
Yeah. There's some players that realize they can't get it done without other people, and they decide, I'm just going to join. I'm a joiner.
Yeah,
You win a championship.
And then you win a championship.
And then people feel like it doesn't count.
Well, those people probably haven't won championships.
I would rather have a guy on my team that definitely wants to set the culture, be the trendsetter, and want to be the next guy to don a red jacket. Like, I want that guy in the clubhouse.
Right.
he's, Wilson Contreras, he's won a World Series. He was younger, he was with the Cubs. We hate seeing it, but he knows what it takes to win a World Series. And that group, I hate to give the Cubs props by any means, but that was a good group. Not only were they talented, but they had something going on, right? They had culture with that group. And, we need that here in St. Louis again.
Yeah, we certainly do. You bite your tongue, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
I know. I feel gross. I need to, wash my hands, maybe wash my mouth.
You look a little under the weather.
Yeah.
So we'll let Marsh maybe go throw up. And when we come back, the Saints have hired Kellen Moore, Eagles offensive coordinator, to be their next head coach. All the vacancies now are filled in the National Football League. When we look back in 5 years, boys, which coach has the best chance to still be with his new team? Which coach is most likely to be replaced at that point? So already fired. That's next on 101 ESPN. VSiN on 101 ESPN. I have to open up this segment with an amendment or an apology.
Please correct yourself, sir.
Somebody, after I teased that now all the vacancies after Kellen Moore was hired by the Saints, all vacancies in the NFL have been filled. Mm-hmm. And we got a texter to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646, that said, not all vacancies have been filled. The Eagles need an offensive coordinator. You're right.
They might need a linebacker coach. They might need the Browns might need a secondary coach. I know the 49ers might need a defensive line coach. I don't know.
So a lot of teams probably need some assistant, something or other.
A lot of moving and shaking.
Yeah. So I did say all vacancies. I meant all head coaching vacancies. So again,
you're in sports media
about that. I know.
You better get it right.
You better
pal.
be perfect. You sick son of a. All right. So now that all head coaching vacancies have been filled.
Thanks for clarification.
Guys, when we look back in 5 years, which coach has the best chance, in your eyes, to still be coaching with his now new team? So it won't be new in 5 years, but the team that just hired him. What's the best coach? What's in terms of like who will still be there in 5 years?
Same time?
I'm thinking there's only one answer.
Right. Let's say it on three.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Mike Vrabel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. We didn't say the same word, but we said the same team in person.
Yes.
It's so funny that I said Mike Vrabel, Patriots. Yeah. That one makes the most sense, doesn't it? I mean,
That's the only one.
He is out of all these guys, and no offense to Pete Carroll, but I think out of all of them, Mike Vrabel is the best head coach that was hired this offseason. The one, maybe not with the best track record, because Pete Carroll does have a Super Bowl championship, but certainly the guy that you feel most confident that will still be around because he's doing a great job.
Can we do one for who might not be there either next year or the following year?
Absolutely. All on three?
Say the name, not the team.
Say the name.
Let's say the name. That's my bad. That's my bad.
All right, so this is somebody that won't be there perhaps in a year or maybe
in
2
a
years.
Year?
Definitely not in 5.
Okay.
Definitely not.
There's one answer.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3. Brian Schottenheimer.
Nice. All right. Nice job, guys.
That is amazing.
Well done.
Good job, fellas.
Yeah. That is the two. We did choose the two obvious ones, though. Let's be real.
Well, what about all these other guys, though? How do you see it playing out?
All right. So if we eliminated Mike Vrabel from the conversation, which head coach do you think is still around in 5 years with his current team?
None.
So you got none.
I would say maybe. It depends on what Kellen Moore, because he's the youngest. It's his first. You got a couple of guys, most of these guys on here, other than Pete and Mike Vrabel, first-time head coaches.
Yeah. I think Ben Johnson, though, right? It's got to be Ben Johnson. No, because he's a Bear.
Because there you go.
Yeah.
I was in Chicago this weekend. I was talking to one of my friends who's a Bear fan, and he's like, yeah, you know how this goes. We hire the coach, have a new quarterback, and a couple of years we'll get a new quarterback. He'll be there, and we'll fire the coach, and then he'll bring a new coach in, and then new quarterback, and then he'll be fired in a couple of years. This is just a cycle.
Merry-go-round from hell.
This is what we do.
Sure.
What about an off-the-wall one? And this organization is very similar to the Chicago Bears, but
Can I guess?
This guy is a no BS guy. Who is it?
Aaron Glenn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Glenn. But they are the Jets.
But they're the Jets, right?
It's
Yeah.
It's the same as the Bears.
You like Aaron Glenn, but
it's a bad spot, man.
No, he's testing, right? Like Aaron Rodgers, all of a sudden he put that Jets uniform on and
now you stink.
Blown Achilles.
Yep.
He's horrible.
But could he be like a Rex Ryan? Like Rex Ryan had a few good years in East Rutherford. Like could they have that type of run?
Rex was only there for how many years?
He was there for 5, right? Had to be. And he went to 2
He was there for 5. 1, 2,
games.
3, 4,
Had to be 5
5,
at least.
6.
Okay.
6 years. And made the AFC Championship game twice.
Rex Ryan has been the best head coach for the New York Jets in the last 20 years. Not even close. Mm-hmm. Not even close.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Thank you. Who's giving you pause?
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it.
Like Todd Bowles is a good head coach. Not with the Jets.
Last 20 years, you said?
Last 20 years.
Herm had a year. Had a couple years. Well, a year.
When was Herm there?
Herm was there that's more than 20 years. His last year there was 2004, 2005, but he stunk in 05.
I'll stand by what I said.
Herm had 2 really good years.
Rex Ryan took Mark Sanchez to back-to-back AFC
you watch your
games.
mouth about the Sanchez.
I don't have to watch anything when I'm talking about Mark.
Watch your mouth about the Sanchez, you know?
Yeah.
Huh?
No.
Been throwing the wind.
Aaron Glenn, no BS guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think if there's anyone that could change that culture, it's certainly not Aaron Rodgers. It could be Aaron Glenn.
It's certainly not Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be, we'll talk about him at some point, I think, today. But Aaron Rodgers, the Jets have already informed him. So Aaron Glenn's first. So to your point, Marsh, Aaron Glenn.
Got to go.
Walks into the Jets. The first thing he does.
Yeah.
You got to go. Brought him into Jersey. Hey, thanks for coming. You're done here.
I respect that.
You're done. I do
respect
too.
that.
And I think Devontae Adams, too, is probably going to be dealt this offseason. Aaron Glenn has got we got to be patient with him, but he's going to start cleaning up a lot of that mess.
Anybody with eyes that watched Aaron Rodgers, eyes and ears, if you watched Aaron Rodgers play football or watched him or listened to him talk, you would agree that he shouldn't be on your team anymore.
Right.
Like I said, there was a time when he called out one of the players for not Mike Williams for not running in the right spot. Well, you threw it the wrong place. Dum-dum. Why are you blaming him? You were yelling at the referees after you threw an interception.
Right.
Hey, man, you threw it right to the DP. What the hell did the ref do?
They're cheating.
No, you got on a different color jersey, Aaron. I don't know if you know this. So he played. He was not good.
No.
Like in his 2 years, and really 1 year because he missed, obviously, the entire season, essentially, minus 3 or 4 plays. He was terrible.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
He was okay at the end of the year. Good on Aaron Glenn for saying, you're not fooling me.
No.
You're not fooling me with a couple of decent games against, bad opponents.
Is it possible for, in modern day football or sports in general, for a coach to counter whatever bad ownership is trying to do? Is it possible to do that now? The last person I can think of is
so overcoming
the Cowboys
a bad owner
with Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones. That's like the last person I can think of.
You cannot. You cannot. Yeah. I will say this from a high school head coaching perspective. If everybody is not on the same page, on board, if the AD, the superintendent, the principal, if they're all not, we're trying to win, at all costs, obviously in the right way. Like we're trying to put together things that allow you and help you succeed and flourish and help the kids. It's the same thing on a higher level.
Yeah.
If the owner is fighting against you, if you're not able to sign the players that you want, if you're not able to run the scheme, if you're forced to play players that aren't good enough and they're saying, no, we drafted him in the first round, he's got to play. Yeah, he can't play dead, sir. I don't want to play him. Yeah, but you got to. Well, we're going to lose. So if the general manager and the ownership are involved, more so the owner. If the owner is involved because they feel like I've paid this person and they have to play, and as a head coach that this person cannot play, you're in trouble. It's a bad situation to be in when the owner is dipping his hands into the player pool in terms of who's playing, how many snaps they're playing, and what position they're playing. It goes in a bad way. It goes in the wrong way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's very difficult for any head coach to overcome bad ownership. And I think the two things are tied together, too, because I don't think a bad owner hires the right people either.
I don't know. Like I said, Aaron Glenn, I could see him being successful. I like the way that he coaches. I like his mindset. Mm-hmm. And his owner is basing players' value off of Madden ratings.
Very, very true. It's a good point.
His son's Madden, his son brought it to him, right? It wasn't the owner. It was his kid told him, hey, this guy's not good.
Right.
Madden.
I play Madden. Right.
Yeah, he's not good. Well, why are we playing him then?
Yeah, who was that?
It was Woody Johnson, wasn't it?
No, I know, but I'm sorry. Who's the player?
Oh, I don't remember who the player was.
It was, I thought it was a wide receiver.
I tell you what, though. I wouldn't be eager to sign there unless that was the only opportunity that I had.
Oh, it was, I don't know who it was. It was Jerry Jeudy.
That's right.
Oh,
Jerry Jeudy. Yeah, they could have acquired him a year ago.
Oh, Jerry Jeudy had a pretty good dang on season.
Yeah, he certainly did. Yep. All right, so I think we're in lockstep here.
We got a text from the 636. Are you guys talking about the Cardinals?
No, but we'll dive back into them. So no votes for Duval.
He in less than 5 years for sure.
All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 to ESPN. You guys want to bring some positivity to the Cardinals fans?
Yeah.
You want to bring some optimism?
By Redbirds.
All right, we'll do that in a little bit, but not next. Would a move to the bullpen for the young starters be a bad move? We played some audio from Mike Claiborne earlier in the show when he appeared on TMA yesterday. Claib's got some interesting takes on McGreevy and some young pitching. That's all next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and you contractors out there, listen up. If you own a business or you're a contractor that needs recycling, you need to know about Scrap Mart Metals. They are tailor-made for your business to help you meet your schedule and your budget. They understand that job site cleanup for contractors can be a mess, but if you set up a business account with Scrap Mart to recycle that metal, it'll be one less thing you'd have to do during cleanup. You'd be amazed at how the scrap metals add up and how it can help your business cash flow. If you're a plumber, if you're in heating and cooling, an excavator, or any type of contractor, Scrap Mart Metal Recycling can make your job easier. If you own that heavy equipment, it breaks down time and time again. You have to repair it. It's costly. Eventually, the time will come for you to end your suffering and get rid of it. Scrap Mart will actually come and get it out of your way. They'll haul your equipment to one of their locations and get you a check the same day. Or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you can haul it yourself. They have 3 convenient locations: Valley Park, Peevely, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. All you need to do is go to scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account to get you rolling. Again, that's scrapmartmetals.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Jordan Bennington will get the nod for Team Canada as the starting netminder. Canada will take on Sweden in the Four Nations tournament. You can listen to that one right here on 101 ESPN tomorrow. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Tonight we have college hoops for you. Creighton going up against Connecticut. Pregame starts at 7:45. Tip-off is at 8. We're going to dive back into the Cardinals. Would a move to the bullpen for some of these young starters be a bad move? We'll discuss next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Mike Claiborne joined TMA yesterday and had some interesting thoughts. And one of the things that he was sharing was his thoughts on McGreevy. Michael McGreevy, the young pitcher for the Cardinals, and really the young pitching overall for the Cardinals. So here's what Claib said about McGreevy.
I'm anxious to see what the pitching is going to look like. McGreevy was intriguing last year. So we were having this discussion. You know what? Now, call me crazy. I'd make him my number 2 guy.
How about that?
I'd throw him in there just to see. You know, if he gets his pitch knocked in, that's all right. but the thing is, I want to see, because if he's going to be my future, see, one of the things I think one of the problems of the game is we have babied an entire generation. You know, I don't expect anybody to come out here and throw 300 innings, but I do expect guys to give me more than what I currently see, where we're giving them an attaboy where he can get to 5 innings. Mm-hmm. You know, hey, you have 100 pitches in you. Let's see if we can spread them out between the first and 7th inning compared to the first and 4 1/3. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm going to see what those guys look like. So I hope that philosophy changes where guys are challenged more to be better.
I like that thought process. And I do think to some degree, I realize that the Cardinals are one of those organizations that have prided themselves on kind of the process. You're in the minors, you get your taste at the big league level. Eventually you go into the bullpen and then into the starting rotation. It has worked well for guys in the past. It worked well for Adam Wainwright. It worked well for Lance Lynn. There have been many others that started off in the bullpen and then kind of made their way into the starting rotation. I'm not knocking the way things have been done in the past. But at some point, I think you have to take the governor off. And if you believe that a young pitcher has the potential to miss bats or just to flat out get big league hitters out, you gotta go with them.
Yeah,
and you gotta give them that experience. See, you say it all the time. It's funny. You want me to have the experience to give me the job, yet how am I going to get the experience if you don't give me the job?
Yep.
So I think the Cardinals are in a spot now where maybe look, the expectations have been lowered. Period. I'm not saying that for you as a fan it should be lowered. I'm saying if the organization has lowered their own expectations. So now is a perfect time to see what you have in these young guys, provided, of course, that you believe that they can swim when you throw them in the deep end.
Yeah, but how do you know? You got to give them an opportunity.
Exactly.
Like, it's sink or swim, and that's really what professional sports are. Like, you do all of this work to get to a certain level, to get the opportunity, and I think the most frustrating thing, especially for younger players, is let me. Why did you sign me if you're not going to let me be me? Why would you not allow me to do the things that got me to this point, right? And so I think the Cardinals have been kind of hands-on and holding some of these guys by the hand and kind of coddling them instead of saying, you know what, instead of signing, let's see. Like, what worse? How much worse would you have been last year if Michael McGreevy got the starts that Lance Lynn got? Mm-hmm. How much worse would you have been if Graceffo got the starts that Kyle Gibson got? Maybe you'd be a little bit. Your record would be a little bit worse. Maybe you win 75 games as opposed to 83. You still don't make the playoffs. But what you did was gave yourself a full year of experience for those guys, and you're a full year ahead of where you're going to be now.
Right.
And so, and you know what they are or what they aren't. It's kind of the same thing that we've talked about with Nolan Gorman, why you need to get Nolan Arenado off the roster so badly, because you need to have a spot for him to figure out if he can play.
Yeah.
You still don't know. You know he can hit the ball far when he hits it, when he's not missing it, when he's not swinging through. But you need to have more of those players having those opportunities. And, again, that's no knock against Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson, but if I can get similar production from younger guys, I'm going with the younger guy. I'm going to go with that guy to see if they have a higher ceiling. Let me see what they got. So I think now you're kind of forced into this position, but I think the frustrating part, and I think what Clay was talking about, he said he feels like McGreevy should go in as a number 2. You probably still going to have Matz and Michaelis in that starting rotation to start it off. And my question would be why? What are you getting from them that you don't already know?
Sure.
These guys are the unknown. And so it could be great. It could be terrible. But if it's terrible, guess what? You still got Matz and you still got Michaelis to throw in there if it is
Very
terrible.
True.
So give them a chance.
I just hope that they don't put these guys in the bullpen. I really like if you're not going to have them in the starting rotation, just keep them in Memphis, because one of these guys is bound to get injured,
right?
Or and that was
let them pitch.
Well, that was
let them be starters.
We talked about that a couple weeks ago. Like that was kind of their game plan. At some point, something's going to happen. These guys will be put in. So I hope that is the case. If they decide to go with the older guys in the rotation, I don't want to see them in the bullpen. We've already seen this a few times, at least recently. Like this whole thing, it's not like Adam Wainwright back in 2006 where he was a closer and all of a sudden became an unbelievable pitcher.
Right.
Like, sure, it's worked for Andre Palante, but like Andre Palante to me has always been a starter. He's even said like I get better as I throw more pitches. Like he's a starter. Like Michael McGreevy, we already saw what he did last year. This guy's a starter. I don't want to see him in the bullpen. I don't want you to screw him up.
Yeah.
I don't want them to screw him up at all. But to me, he should be in the rotation. Will he be? Probably not, because it seems like they don't know what they're doing.
It's almost like they're afraid of failure or afraid of the guys failing. Like, I think because I would say like Matthew Liberatore. Right, there was a notion that he could be potentially a starter. Had a great outing his first start. I was at the game. It was outstanding. Did a really good job. But then you realize, because you gave him an opportunity, you kind of realize, he's probably more of a middle reliever type of guy. Like this is what he is.
Yeah,
and that's okay, because you also need those people on your roster. But you wouldn't know what he is unless you gave him opportunities to start and see. You have to give guys an opportunity to figure out what they are and who they are. You have to give guys opportunities to fail, especially in a time like this where there is not a lot of pressure to win a championship. Nobody's expecting it. Now, if you're on a roster and you're the LA Dodgers or you're the New York Yankees and you just played in the World Series last year, I don't got time to young man. We'll figure that out later.
Right. When
these other guys aren't here and we stink again. But when we're in a position where we don't know what we have, we don't have the highest expectations, give them a chance, see who they are, see how well they perform.
Yeah, the Cardinals have also done a really frustrating job of having the fail-safe right there and ready to go. And what I mean by that is they always have like that safety net for young players. If this doesn't work out, well, we've got a veteran that we're paying right now. We picked him up in the offseason, and he's not very good. But, you know what? You struggle. We're going to go with the veteran. The managers have this, like, I feel like this way throughout all of baseball. Unless they don't have the opportunity, they'll go with the veteran. They'll go with that veteran guy.
Because it's easier to justify. It's no different than when I was coaching high school football. They can justify recruiting the 6'4", 240-pound defensive end over the 6 foot,
of course,
200-pound guy. Yeah. Even though the guy that's smaller probably might be better.
Right.
But this guy looks better And if I fail with this guy, it's okay. It's not your fault. It's his fault.
I think most NFL teams draft that
The
same way, where they can go to the podium and say, "Well, what happened with this guy? He's 6'4", this, that, no."
You got all the measurables. He just
couldn't put it together. Yeah. Mm-hmm. As opposed to going to the table and saying, "Yeah, this guy's a football player."
Correct.
This guy's a football player. The measurables don't. I don't care about your measurables. This guy knows how to play football. Or this guy knows how to pitch. Or this guy knows how to hit. Flat out. This guy knows how to. So I do think they need to remove that netting that they have for young players. There are no. Hey, you can't go to the veteran. He ain't here. Let's roll.
Yeah.
It's incumbent upon you to develop him into a big leaguer. And if you have to do it at the big league level, yes, there's inherent risk that the guy might be ruined. But if he gets ruined quickly, then what does that say about the player? If you ruin him.
Right.
Because you played him. I'm not saying, have a 19-year-old and go ahead and play him right out of high school. Or, an 18-year-old or a guy that just doesn't have a lot of experience. This is different. There's been guys that have shown enough at the AAA level that the Cardinals don't give full opportunities to. A starter.
Then you ask, what's the purpose?
Right, exactly. You believed in him, right? You drafted him.
What's the
you
purpose?
Scouted him, you drafted him, you developed him. He's knocking on the door now, and you decided that you're going to roll with Michaelis and Steven Matz and whoever. I don't understand it. Has the last two seasons with the Jets impacted Aaron Rodgers' legacy? Is it time for him just to hang it up? We'll get into that conversation next on 101 ESPN. Got my man Stewie on the line right now. Stewie, I know one of the things you wanted to discuss with our fine folks today is about retirement mortgages. What do we need to know?
Anthony, we just had an ESPN listener all his life, blue-collar worker, worked hard every day, went ahead, his house appreciated over time, had a $300,000 mortgage, and had to retire. After retirement, he's getting a small pension, and Social Security can't afford the mortgage anymore. Comes over to us and says, hey, I got to sell my house. I don't want to, but I can't afford the mortgage. Is there anything I can do? Well, there is something you can do. If you're over the age of 62, you can qualify for a reverse mortgage. That means that we refinance the house, gave him a bunch of cash. He never has to make a mortgage payment as long as he lives in the house, ever. So he took out the money. He's going to enjoy it. He's going to stay at the house. He's going to live the rest of his years in comfort and joy in the house that he built over the entire life period.
Does that sound good to you? Then give Stewie a call, 314-324-4440. You can call him or text him. Gives you his personal cell phone number. See what he can do for you. Or maybe this topic doesn't apply to you, but maybe you want to consolidate some debt that's got out of hand. You want to make sure that you got it, in check, and maybe dig out of some of the debt that you have. Maybe you found your dream home, but you don't know if you qualify for a loan for it. Give Stewie a call. He's there to help you. Again, 314-324-4440, or you can always Google the Bagel Loan. Thanks, Stewie.
Have a great day, Anthony.
NMLS number 226715.
101 ESPN has your chance to win free tickets to see Incubus performing Morning View in its entirety, plus the hits. On July 3rd at Chaffetz Arena. Find all the ticket info and get entered to win those free tickets for Incubus right now, either at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app. Powered by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Should Aaron Rodgers retire? I'll tell you what, CD.
Yes.
Well, okay, maybe you feel it. For me, I will never, ever tell an athlete that he needs to retire. Ever.
No, Anthony,
it's not my. It's not. No, hold on. It's not my place. It's not my place to do so. If an athlete wants to play forever, look. Once you hang it up, you're done. You're done. I'm not going to say anything to an athlete that worked his entire life to get to that point to earn, the right to play wherever he wants to, and just say, hey, you need to retire. That's certainly not my take on things. I'll never say that. So if Aaron Rodgers wants to keep playing, he can keep playing.
Anthony, I don't want to watch that.
I don't either, but I'm certainly not going to sit here and say that an athlete should retire. That's not my place.
Well, I think, you have eyes. You understand football.
Mm-hmm.
You know what good football looks like, and you know what bad football looks like. The Chiefs, you saw this weekend. The Chiefs played bad football.
Played really bad.
The Eagles played good football.
Yeah.
You know what it looks like. Aaron Rodgers hadn't played good football since 2022? 2021?
The last year that he played, I think, really well was his second to last year in Green Bay.
2021.
I thought he struggled his final year with the Packers, which is one of the reasons why I said if the Jets go ahead and make this move, and they did, I think it would blow up in their face. Now, I didn't see him tearing his Achilles on the second or third play of the game, but for me, it's like his play was already tailing off at that point. I didn't think that he was going to be fantastic in the Jets, and turns out he wasn't.
Hey,
but 3 years ago,
he was the MVP of the league.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, second to last year in Green Bay.
Yeah,
he hadn't been good for a while, man.
Do you think that the Jets, the 2 years with the Jets, not ruin his entire legacy, because that's going too far? He is a Super Bowl winner and he's a multi-MVP. Do you think his legacy takes a hit though the last 2 years?
I don't think so. I mean, I think most people generally forget when players of great players go to other teams and don't have success. Like, do you think of Joe Montana as a Kansas City Chief?
No, I think of him as a 49er.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think of...
It's funny, though, when you said that, I did picture him.
You had to think about it.
I did picture him in the Chiefs uniform.
But they actually went to the playoffs. Like, they had a chance to make a run.
Weren't they 6-0?
I don't know.
To start the year?
That was...
Or maybe I'm thinking somebody else. Maybe I'm thinking the Chargers.
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Either way. Do you
Can't
think
find
of...
it down with it.
You think of Jerry Rice as an Oakland Raider?
No.
Or a Seattle Seahawk?
Seahawk, no.
No. So I don't think that going places at the end of your career makes you, defines who you are, what you are. I think it'll be a footnote. People will remember it like, oh, yeah, he tore his Achilles his first year in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And then that'll be the end of it. You'll still remember him as a, 5-time MVP? 4-time MVP. And know that he had a great career, 1-time Super Bowl winner. He had a great career as a quarterback. And if this is it, I was talking to Claves this morning. I was doing an interview with him, and he was asking me, most players, like, when you get done playing, how do you know or how do you feel?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you feel like you got more in the tank? Like, I would say 95% of us don't want to retire, man. But if you are in that 5% that gets to end it the way you want to, and I don't know if he wants to retire. I don't know if he probably still feels like he has some juice left in it. But when you get to that point where it's over, when you are unable to move or do the things in the way that you used to, it's time to end it. It's time to wave the white flag, say I've had a great career, I've done a great job, done all of the things I could possibly do, and got all of it out of this body, and now I can go sit down and relax.
Yeah.
And I think Aaron Rodgers is close to, if he's not at that point. Because, again, watching him play football, it's not as bad. Like, we knew Peyton was done. You had he couldn't throw the football. Mm-hmm. Like, you knew he was unable to throw the ball. You've seen quarterbacks who are unable to protect themselves. It's like boxers when they get stop.
Right.
But I think Aaron Rodgers may feel like he has more, but if he retires and decides to not play anymore, I wouldn't be surprised that way either.
What team do you think that he would fit best on if he comes back, he plays? He comes off as the guy that would want to kind of, stick it to somebody, the people that don't really like him. He feels like that kind of guy to try and – no.
Oh.
No, I know that Brett Favre did that.
To go to the Vikings?
Well, he said stick it to the Packers.
Jeez.
Or, he said stick it to, stick it to
national
somebody.
media. This guy can't play anymore. It's
right.
like, I want to stick it to the team.
I was going to say there's no team that he would, like the Titans. But
remember the Titans?
Yeah.
No, Coach Boone, those guys had a quarterback. His name is Sunshine.
Well, no, the Tennessee Titans has a franchise.
Oh, do they?
They do. Yeah.
I feel like
went to a Super Bowl once.
I feel like he would be a good bridge quarterback. If he has one more year, he could be a good bridge quarterback for the Titans because I don't see that team being a playoff contender anyways.
Right.
So he goes there. Maybe they do make the playoffs as a wild card team. Mm-hmm. Super duper long shot for that. But, if they don't decide to go get a quarterback in the first round, maybe they go and get one later round. Perhaps he could be a bridge quarterback for that. Then they can get one next year. I could see Tennessee maybe doing it.
I think Aaron Rodgers as a bridge quarterback is done. Like I don't see him. If you're the Tennessee Titans, is he better than why do I want to call him Mayo Boy? Yeah. Is he better than Will Levis?
Probably
not.
I don't know, Kerry. Will Levis was terrible this year.
Same thing.
What does it say that we have to argue about this?
But that's what I'm saying. If that's the case, go with Will Levis and forget about it.
Yeah.
If you're in the position where you're like, is Aaron Rodgers an upgrade? And you're like, I don't know.
Is Aaron Rodgers better than Mason Rudolph?
Is he? Maybe.
Yes. Come on. Even with one
version, foot. No. You got to be able to protect yourself back there.
I have to believe that Aaron,
what does Aaron Rodgers look like with a decent offensive line?
Who knows?
That offensive line is terrible for the Jets. They were terrible. That's the reason why he got hurt.
To CeeDee's point, though, so is he.
Exactly.
I understand. I mean, he is one of the best quarterbacks that we have ever watched play and throw the football.
He was
great.
I would take his, and I'm not saying I would take him on the Vikings, but I would take him where he is right now over some of the quarterbacks in the league right now for sure. Mm-hmm. Just because I know what he has in him. Maybe he could do that in his final season.
That's the reason. That thought process right there has gotten many a men fired.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not in that position.
You're not wrong in how you think. But when GMs and coaches rewind the clock and go back to times of yesteryear, you remember when we took the team down the field and he threw that Hail Mary?
Well, that guy's still in there.
That's why I'm saying bridge quarterback, because if you stink, well, you're probably going to stink anyways, but maybe he gives you some upside, you sell some tickets because he's Aaron Rodgers, and you get more people talking about your team because Aaron Rodgers is on your team.
That's like the Cardinals signing Lance Lynn.
Oh, my gosh. Don't even compare Aaron Rodgers to Lance Lynn. They both have beards, but, that's it.
What you just said is essentially that's the thinking. That's the thought process. Don't give the young guy an opportunity and figure out if he can play. The hell with that.
I'll tell you right now, Will Levis is not an NFL quarterback.
He's on the team.
He is not good. They have more memes about him that I've seen come out of the internet than any other player in the league.
If you put Aaron Rodgers, I would love to. Now I want to see it. Now I want to see a quarterback battle between Aaron Rodgers and Will Levis. And I want to see Aaron Rodgers behind that Tennessee offensive line and see if he's that much better than Will Levis. He ain't.
You know what? I hope he's in Pittsburgh next year.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
Oh, God, no.
Could happen.
That won't happen. That won't happen.
Spite, Carey. I hope he is singing, "Here we go, Steelers. Here we go, Aaron Rodgers." Whatever.
I would love to see him in Pittsburgh so that Mike Tomlin, chokes him.
Yeah.
Because I could definitely see that. All right, boys. We have got quite the challenge ahead of us here.
We got to be better.
Yeah. Third straight day for our guy, Hal. Do I get it done, or do we have to call Jamie in Mexico tomorrow?
We've done it before.
We have done it before. It didn't end well because he was hammered.
Was he?
Yes. We've done it one time, and Jamie was ham-sauced. All right. Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN.
4 warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 406. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome back Hal for a third straight day. What's up, Hal?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. You're rolling.
Hal, is that your name or is it a different name?
My legal name's Henry, but Henry. I go by Hal. Yeah.
You got a friend texted in, told us to call you Henry the whole time. Said it'll throw you off the game.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Said you were the best man in his wedding and it's your legal name.
Wow.
We should call you Henry.
Shout out to Dylan.
Oh, you took the high road, Hal. Dylan was trying to ruin you.
Yeah, that's what best men do. Best pals.
Doesn't feel like that's what they should do.
You know.
I got karma, you know. I got to be a good guy.
Well, no, you're not a good guy. You already defeated me.
Yeah. All right, Hal. Well, I'm next, and then if you get through me today, we're going to have to, I guess, make a phone call to Jamie Rivers in Mexico tomorrow.
Right.
So.
Sounds like a plan.
That sounds like a good plan for you if it happens.
Good luck to you.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
All right, Hal. Anthony is heading out of the studio, headed to the Cone of Silence. Tell Marcy to spin that wheel.
Marsh, spin that wheel.
Now, Hal, I'm not even going to ask you what you want because I don't think you're going to tell me. And you've been through this enough and you know how the wheel works. So I'm just going to tell you good luck, man. Whatever category you get, you've been doing a great job. We'll see.
All right, we have our category. It is not random. It is not hockey. Anthony likes football.
He does.
But today it's baseball.
Ooh, I like baseball.
You like baseball.
Ooh,
all right.
Anthony might be sitting in the chair.
He might be.
Penalty box.
Marcia is getting me the launch codes. As you remember, you answer the question correctly without the options, you get 2 points. You answer it correctly with the options, you get 1 point. And if you answer incorrectly, you get 0 points. Are you ready, Al?
I'm ready.
Henry. Here we go. Ben Joyce threw the fastest strikeout pitch, 105.5 miles per hour ever recorded by StatCast last September 3rd against the Dodgers. Identify this flame-throwing reliever's current team.
The Angels.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Question number 2. On July 15th, where will the 2025 MLB All-Star Game take place? We'll accept either the stadium or the host organization.
So they always do it in new ballparks. I'll say, give me the options.
Options are Lone Depot Park in Miami, Truist Park in Atlanta, or Citizens Bank Park in Philly.
Okay. Let's go Atlanta.
Final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
Question number 3. Blue Jays outfielder Anthony Santander enjoyed considerable success during the 2023 World Baseball Classic, batting .353 and belting 2 home runs while representing his home country of...
Let's go options.
Is it Venezuela, Canada, or Cuba?
Let's go Canada.
Final answer?
Final answer, yeah.
Question number 4. On April 21st, 2012, a 29-year-old journeyman tossed perhaps the most unlikely perfect game in MLB history. Who was it?
Phil Umber.
Final answer?
Final answer. Yeah, final answer.
All right, we'll get Anthony back in here. Can you is he coming back? You get him?
Yep.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling okay.
All right, well, we'll see how Anthony is feeling as he heads back in from the Cone of Silence. Anthony, how are you, sir?
Good, guys. How are you?
Doing great. How was the Cone of Silence?
Very silent today. No Mike Ryder.
Oh, you're in there by yourself, eh?
I was, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nobody stopped by. I said hello. Nothing.
Anthony, your category is one that you know well.
Hockey.
You enjoy this category.
Let's do this.
It's baseball.
Oh, okay.
Marshy, tell him.
Pack a lunch.
Alrighty. Here we go. Ben Joyce threw the fastest strikeout pitch, 105.5 miles per hour ever recorded by StatCast last September 3rd against the Dodgers. Identify this flame-throwing reliever's current team.
Ben Joyce?
Mm-hmm.
He's either an A or an Angel. Options, please.
Is it the Angels, the Mets, or the Mariners?
Oh, well, I thought he was either an A or an Angel, so I'll go with the Angels. Final answer.
Question number 2. On July 15th, where will the 2025 MLB All-Star Game take place? We'll accept either the stadium or the host organization.
Truist Park, Atlanta, Georgia. Final answer.
All right, question number 3. Blue Jays outfielder Anthony Santander enjoyed considerable success during the 2023 World Baseball Classic, batting .353 and belting 2 homers while representing his home country of
Anthony Santander. I have 2 thoughts in mind here. So I'll take the options.
Is it Venezuela, Canada, or Cuba?
No, yeah, Venezuela. Final answer.
Question number 4. On April 21st, 2012, a 29-year-old journeyman tossed perhaps the most unlikely perfect game in MLB history. Who was it?
What year?
2012.
Most unlikely. 2012. Didn't Chris Flexen? I don't think 2012 is too long ago. I'm going to need the options. I'm sure I'll get it with the options here.
Options are Mike Maroth,
No.
Armando Galarraga,
No.
or Philip Umber.
There it is. Philip Umber, white with the White Sox. Final answer.
All right, let's start there. On April 21st, 2012, a 29-year-old journeyman tossed perhaps the most unlikely perfect game in MLB history. Who was it? Hal, you said Philip Umber. Anthony, you said Philip Umber. Correct answer is?
It is Philip Umber.
But Hal didn't need the options.
Oh, nice job, Hal.
Hal's up 2-1. Let's go to question number 1. Ben Joyce threw the fastest strikeout pitch, 105.5 miles per hour, ever recorded by StatCast last September 3rd against the Dodgers. Identify this flame-throwing reliever's current team. Hal, you said the Angels.
Wow.
Anthony, you said the Angels. The correct answer is?
It is the Los Angeles Angels.
Hal is up 4-2 because he didn't need the options.
Oh, sweet Mary and Joseph. Are you serious?
Very serious. All right.
This guy's Rain Man.
He's pretty good there, ain't he? Let's go to question number 2. On July 15th, where will the 2025 MLB All-Star Game take place? We'll accept either the stadium or the host organization. Hal, you said Atlanta, Georgia.
No.
Anthony, you said Atlanta, Georgia. Correct answer is?
It is Truist Park, home of the Atlanta Braves.
But Anthony didn't need the options and Hal did. We are a 5-4 score. Comes down to this. And neither of you used the options.
No, I did.
I think they both did.
Oh, they both did. Sorry. My apologies. I'm ready. They both did use the options. My apologies.
If we both said Venezuela, this one's over.
Anthony, we'll get to that in a second. You just wait. Blue Jays outfielder Anthony Santander enjoyed considerable success during the 2023 World Baseball Classic, batting .353 and belting 2 homers while representing his home country of, with the options, Hal, you said Canada. With the options, Anthony, you said Venezuela. If it's Canada, Hal, you win 6-4. If it's Venezuela, well, we got a walk-off. Hal.
Walk it off.
It was Venezuela. It is a 5-5 tie. We go to extra innings. All right, Hal, here's how this works. I will ask you all a question. You will both write Anthony will write his answer down. He will tell us, and immediately after he tells us, you need to tell us your answer. Immediately after he shows us, you need to tell us your answer so we don't have too much lag time in between his answer and your answer.
Immediately.
All right? And closest to the pin. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, don't tell us anything until Anthony shows us his. Brand new Baseball Hall of Famer Ichiro Suzuki finished his career with how many Major League Baseball hits? All right.
Can you see that?
I got it, yeah. All right, Hal, what's your answer?
I'm going to say 3,073.
3,073. Anthony, what is your answer?
3,069.
How?
I almost said that, actually.
How?
You have chosen wisely.
The correct answer was 3,089.
Oh. Are you serious?
Very serious.
Wow. Well done,
Good
Hal.
job, Hal.
Good job, man. That was a battle.
Thank you.
Nice job. What'd you say, 73?
He said 3,073.
Yeah.
Anthony answered
wow.
3,069.
Good job,
I
Hal.
almost went with your joke, but I guess I chose better.
Yeah, you did, man. I combined my 2 jokes. That's why I was laughing. I chose 3,069. So well done, Hal. You'll if we can get Jamie on the line from Mexico, we'll do it tomorrow. If not, what we'll do is we'll pause your title match until Jamie is back. All right.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Okay, so unfortunately, you just have to be by the phone for the next week. No, we'll give you a heads up. So, Hal, congratulations, man. Nice job.
Good job, Hal.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Oh, man.
I got to head to the penalty box.
Yeah.
Oh,
That stinks, Anthony.
that does stink.
Hal been running through. He just been beating the hell out of all of us, huh? You had a chance there, Anthony.
Yeah,
I did.
closest.
If I
You
could
had a
just
chance.
remember Phil Humber.
You had a chance.
Humber.
Old Phil Umber.
Oh, Umber.
Man.
You know who they played
This guy's
that day?
good. The Twins.
No.
Well, like I was telling you, it was
Yeah.
the Angels.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, it was the
Same division, actually.
Astros.
No.
Nope.
Rangers.
Not even close.
Clearly it was the Mariners.
Bingo. First try.
First try. Nailed it.
Or fifth, you know.
Man, that irritates me.
That was nice. That was a good game. That was a good one. That was a great matchup between two guys working their tails off. You know? 5-5.
I work my tail off in that
you
corner
go enjoy.
over there. All right, what does it say about Major League Baseball that one of the game's stars still doesn't have a contract? That's next on 101 ESPN. Live from the penalty box, I'm Anthony Stalter. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Super Bowl champion. Our guy Jamie Rivers is on vacation. Andrew Marsh here as well. So what does it say about Major League Baseball that one of its stars is still a free agent as spring training has opened up around the league? That star, of course, is Alex Bregman. So I think it says a couple of things, guys. One, the issue with Major League Baseball has always been that their free agents typically don't hit the open market until their late 20s. A lot of times they don't get the big bite of the apple until their early 30s. It's rare that you see a young player in his prime, somebody like Bryce Harper or Manny Machado, hit the open market, Juan Soto for that matter, hit the open market at a young age where teams are willing to spend buku bucks to bring him in. So I think that's part of it. But when it comes to Bregman, I also think it doesn't work that his agent, Scott Boras. I think Major League Baseball, whether they colluded or they all just kind of have the same frustration with Boras, they're tired of working with Boras. Tired of working with his clients to try to get, he's trying to soak every last dollar out of them. And they just said, hey, forget it. We're not willing to spend all this money for all this term, either on you or any free agent that's a little bit older.
Has it been all Scott Boras' agents? I mean, has Scott Boras been the agent for most of these players? I know he's Montgomery's agent, correct?
Yeah.
Is he Blake Snell's agent as well?
I think he was Blake Snell's.
I think he was, because those were the two last year that we were like, all right, we're waiting to see how this goes. I think it is a little bit of you don't want to. The word collusion is going to stir up some feelings when you say that. And I said it earlier to Marcia. I think that's probably a possibility because if all the owners are in agreement that we're not going to overpay for these player services, and the players and the agents are saying, well, no, this is how it's supposed to go now. It's my turn. Mm-hmm. It's my bite at the apple. It's my turn to get paid. And that number should go up, and the owners are like, no, it's not, unfortunately. So I think they do have a bit of a problem. I think that's part of the issue when you talk about baseball. One of the most exciting times, you get free agency for football. That's when you see player movement and your favorite players going to different teams, and you see these massive contracts, and you're like, oh, my God, he's going to be in a Lions uniform this year. He was playing for the other team in his division last year. Like, you get to see that happen, whereas in baseball, it's kind of like the game. It just kind of matriculates down the field, moves at a slower pace, and you become a little bit frustrated. But I don't know how you fix it. I don't know if there's a way to fix. This is so hard to look over my shoulder. I know everybody else. I don't know if there's any way to fix this to make it better for baseball and to get these players signed, because you got, as Marcia said, one of the better players sitting around waiting again, just like you had last year. Where was Blake Snell going to go? Where was Jordan Montgomery going to go? When is this going to happen?
Yeah.
All the while, you got players starting to report.
Yep.
Which you're not missing as much as you would if it's football, learning the playbook, right? There's not that, it's not that extensive. I mean, you got to learn the hand signals for whatever you're doing, but I don't think that's too difficult to do, but you're still missing time and with getting familiar with your new team and kind of, getting that rhythm.
Not to mention buying a house and all that other stuff.
All of those other things. Family, what school your kids are going to be in, the school district. If they move with you, like it does play a large part in, players' careers, making sure that their families are okay as well.
Yeah, I agree, CD. I don't know what you do about it, because you can't tell a player or a team not to play the leverage that they have. Mm-hmm. So if Bregman wants to go to, he's got three teams on his radar, you can't tell him to, hey, you got to choose one right now before a certain date. It's all part of it. But I do think the arbitration process causes a bit of this because it's such a long process. Mm-hmm. You've got the minor league process, which I'm fine with, by the way. I think, Major League Baseball, they've got a bit of a weeding out process that the NFL doesn't have and NBA truly doesn't have. I know they got the G League, but it's a little different. Yeah. I mean, Major League, even if you're a bonus baby, you're still having to go through the ranks of Major League Baseball's minor league system. But then you hit the big leagues and your clock eventually starts, but then you got 4 years of arbitration that you got to go through before you go to free agency, or a team kind of dangles it out there here, or we'll pay you. It's not going to be what you'd make in free agency, but it's often a kind of a sweetheart deal for the team.
Right. And the players, so they don't have to get to that.
We saw Ozzie Albies take that deal. But you've got 4 years of arbitration, then you become a free agent.
Right.
Well, at that point, you're 28, 29. Maybe you didn't make the big leagues early, like real early.
Right.
You're 30. You're in your 30s, and teams are like, "Nah, we got analytics to say you're not going to be worth it."
Yeah.
Plus, how smart is it now for a team to sign a guy for 8 years, 10 years? Typically, those contracts don't work out.
Depending on when you're signing them.
If it's Bryce Harper, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. Or if they're younger players. If they're 22, 23 years old, and you sign them to a 6 to 8 year contract.
Right.
You're
talking about the guys that are like, you're just rolling.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like Bobby Wood Jr., how old was he when he signed that contract?
He was young. Same deal with Michael Harris in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Not that those two are the same player.
Right, but you get him signed sooner. As you said, it's a good deal for the team. And generally speaking, a player, knowing that they can bypass those years of arbitration, knowing that they can get paid a sufficient amount of money right now, they generally jump at it and don't want to wait till, like you said, they're 28, 29 years old and hope that they have had that success, that sustainable success for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Where they can get that huge, massive contract.
That's Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Let's do our Sports Six-Pack next. So if you got a question for us, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. Again, a Sports Six-Pack next in the Fastlane.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and if you have any car needs, any car issues, anything auto-related from small scratches to major body work, you need to call my friends at allthingsappearance.com. My guy, Jeff, he can help you out. He's the owner. He will work with you personally. If it's standard maintenance, detailing, ceramic coating, paint, dent repair, collision repair, even if you have hail damage from last year, they will work with your insurance company and your warranty companies to make sure you get the best price possible. All you need to do is reach out to Jeff at 636-248-5051. Or you can reach out to them online at allthingsappearance.com. That number that I just gave you is Jeff's personal phone number. He wanted me to let you know that you can call that number at any time. That could be day or night, weekends. He's available. He will personally respond to your message and get you the work that you need in a sufficient time and get you in and out. He wants to make sure that his customers are taken care of. He's directly hands-on with it. Make sure you get the best price and you're not being overcharged like some places will. Again, that's 636-248-5051 or online at allthingsappearance.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. John Cooper has named Jordan Bennington the starter for Team Canada in the Four Nations tournament. You can listen to said game as Team Canada takes on Sweden. You can listen to that tomorrow right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. Tonight on 101 ESPN, we'll have some college hoops for you. It's Creighton going up against UConn. Pregame starts at 7:45. Tip-off is at 8. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll do our six-pack next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
Time for the Sports Six-Pack here on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, and here's Andrew Marsh with your questions.
Question number 1.
Let's start off with the 217. The Dallas Mavericks ejected a fan spotted on the Jumbotron last night, mouthing, "Fire Nico." Do you think they went too far? And Nico, for those that don't know, is their general manager who traded away Luka to the LA Lakers.
Yeah, of course. Yes. Of course they went too far. What are you talking about?
That's kind of ridiculous.
That's incredibly ridiculous.
Yeah.
Fire the GM and they tossed him out?
I didn't know that was all it was. Like I thought it was.
Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe
there's more to it, and that's just what social media had to say.
You know,
but
that's how they.
I mean, if he was dropping some F-bombs and things like that, and he was making people uncomfortable and all that, okay. But
they had a sign.
It was simply just a fire the GM for trading our favorite player. Come on.
I wonder if they think he said the other F word. Fast lane, Nico.
Well, they got a sign right here, and it says "Fire Nico."
Oh, so it was a sign? I thought he just mouthed it.
I don't know, but either way, to throw somebody out for saying fire the GM, you're probably gonna have a bunch of fire Nico signs going forward.
I would think so.
Could you imagine all those fans at the Pittsburgh Penguins game getting ejected for trying to fire Matt Canada?
They were screaming it, weren't they? That's ridiculous.
Yes.
Fire Canada. That's when a city truly comes together, Anthony.
That's very true.
For one common cause.
Yes.
The hatred of the offensive coordinator.
Yes. I was about to say, it's usually the OC. It's usually the OC. It's either the hitting coach or the OC.
Yeah.
And
fire that guy.
And they don't know who the hitting coach is for the Pirates, so it's fire Matt Canada.
Nothing brings people together. You could be from different backgrounds, but nothing brings people together like winning, your favorite team winning, or hating a coach on your favorite team.
Yes.
And wanting them fired.
Oh, that's true. This is true.
But specifically, to Carey's point, that being the play caller.
Yes.
The offensive coordinator.
Get the eye out of here. Need to see that anymore.
MD 2020 is right. Just shows how thin-skinned they are. Absolutely.
So the 314 says, saw the video today. All he said was, fire Nico.
That's ridiculous.
And then it cut to somebody else.
That's ridiculous.
Unbelievable. It just can't happen. Just can't happen.
Question number 2.
Not even close. From the 816, if you could play in a sporting event all time, what would it be and what position?
Any sporting event all time?
And ever, Bob.
I've always said this, but you said it, and you said something. You gave me a different example.
Oh.
I always said being like the heavyweight champion of the world. If I could be in a boxing ring, and I clearly I want to be the champ and be the one that can really knock people out boxing. But Yeah, I think a solo sport where all eyes are on you.
Tupac style?
Tupac style, you know? That guy did it. He was a hell of a rapper, Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you know about him.
I do. I know about Tupac. Yeah, certainly. Some say he's still alive.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I gave you the exact. I said golf. Like, why wouldn't you just be a golfer?
You did.
So you
I
have to
think
get
that
punched in the
was.
face.
I think that was. It made much more sense to me when you said it.
Like, if we can make the same money, I'm probably going to play a lot longer.
No question.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Seems safer.
Much safer.
Yeah. And I'm not even like, I like golf. I don't love it. I'm thinking long term.
Longevity.
Yeah.
I'd probably go with like some event that didn't have anything to do with dying, but playing in the Roman Coliseum. Which I don't know if there was any events that didn't involve death.
Yeah.
They all were involving
I did see Gladiator 2, by the way. I watched it.
Did you like it?
I thought it was fine. I thought it was good. You said it was basically a shot-for-shot remake? I mean,
it wasn't a remake, but it was almost beat for beat.
Did you feel it was better than the original?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did you feel like you could have gained more from maybe 20 minutes more of movie? More. Like, I feel like some scenes were taken out. I feel like a little bit more information.
Oh, that's right. You felt it was rushed, right?
I felt like there were some scenes that, like, you just kind of knew who he was.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit more. Give me more of the backstory. I'm more of a backstory kind of guy.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, because you're like, wait a minute, where did this all come from?
How did this happen that fast?
You talking about like Denzel's?
No, his mother. Like,
yeah, it's just like,
I'm here.
Yeah.
Wait, when were you going to tell us that?
Yeah.
You were
like, when did that? And then I don't want to spoil anything. The movie's been out for a little bit, but there's a part.
You mean when the mother was maybe canoodling? You talking about that part?
Like, when did we find out that the mother was the mother?
Yeah.
Well, I had to go back and watch so I watched Gladiator 2, but then I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
So then I went back and watched Gladiator 1. I'm like, did they add stuff to the ending of that movie that I just did not catch?
No, it's just his last line. They kind of just went with it when he says, "Now,
guess
his face is safe," or something.
Yeah, but when were you gonna know?
It's the second one. Yeah, the second movie. Gator goes, Anthony, you'll watch Gladiator 2 and not Top Gun? Here's the thing. I already know what Top Gun's about, and I just realized it wasn't for me.
Oh, man.
I watched Top Gun. I watched the first 10 minutes. I knew exactly what was going to happen.
Speaking of Top Gun
pilots,
Tom Cruise, I feel like he's one of those guys that just never ages. Man, he looked old in that Super Bowl preview
Tom
thing.
Cruise?
Yeah, he just looked older than he usually does. And obviously he's getting old.
Sure. Yeah.
He's got to be in his 60s, isn't he?
But typically he looks like he's like 40.
Right.
Like all the time.
I feel that
he just
way.
Looked a little bit older.
I feel the way that you said before about like certain people never ate. Like Mario Lopez, I think looks the same as he did as Saved by the Bell.
He does.
Like what genetics is Mario Lopez?
Fountain of youth have you found, sir? Amazing.
But yeah, sometimes you're like, what the hell? What happened to him? I don't know if I felt that way about Tom Cruise, but I see your point. I see what you're doing.
Have you always been a Mission Impossible person?
It's okay.
Okay.
Like I don't go. It's not like I've like. Oh yeah, I love Mission Impossible.
Who's your favorite
It's
actor?
fine. My favorite actor, like growing up.
Like right now, growing up now. Like he's in a movie, you got to go see it.
Oh, I don't know if I've got a favorite actor that I got to go see.
I mean, the Winter Soldier actor is probably.
You know what's funny about the Winter Soldier actor? I feel like it should be me. So
You don't like Sebastian Stan?
you know who I really like? I like Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
I think he's just excellent.
He was good in Oppenheimer.
Was he?
Have I
Yeah.
seen
See, but I didn't
Oppenheimer?
go out and
I've
see
seen
it.
Oppenheimer.
Oh, guess you don't like him that much.
Let's see here. When I was growing up, it was like Bruce Willis. You know, I like The Rock.
Okay.
Typically, The Rock movies are action packed. I like to be entertained.
And then he said, "Good actor." What actor do you like?
Well, okay, listen. You know who's a phenomenal actress that I'll tell you what. My wife Kristen says this about actors and actresses, and I think she makes a great point. If you can picture that actor doing the same role over and over and over again, it's just like, as she says this a lot of times about Jennifer Aniston. She's Rachel in everything.
Gotcha.
She's her character from Friends in everything. It's just Rachel. She's just in a different. But if you can watch somebody and you're like, I can't pinpoint that character that you played before.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're phenomenal. Like, Tom Hanks is phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's not Castaway in everything.
Yeah.
Right. Meryl Streep. Typically in movies, I can't stand.
Right.
But she, from like an actress standpoint, she's incredible. You can't pinpoint her in the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
So if you want something like actual actors and actresses and stuff like that, yeah, Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep.
Yeah, she was great in Devil Wears Prada.
That was a very good movie.
Yeah.
It was a great movie.
Not the same woman that was in Osage County, or whatever that was called. Completely different.
Never seen it.
It's tough.
I saw Devil Wears Prada.
Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool in every movie.
Right.
It literally is the same guy in every movie.
Yeah.
Oh, they call that typecasting.
Yes.
He's the same person.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Oh, Tom Hanks was a great one. That is a very good answer. Denzel Washington, obviously. Like the knowns, Al Pacino's and the...
Al Pacino's phenomenal.
Jack Nicholson's and the world.
I think currently I'd go with... I don't really look at like celebrities. I don't really like idolize celebrities. I just I never really got that. Same with singers. Like I just, whatever. I don't care.
Right.
But I really enjoyed Joseph Quinn. He's kind of come on the scene as of late. He was in the last season of Stranger Things. He was in Gladiator 2. He's one of the bad guys. The one, him and his, he has a brother.
Yeah. Which one was he?
Not the
brothers were weird.
Not the dumb one.
Okay.
Not the dumb one. The other guy.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Not the one with the monkey.
Yeah.
The other guy.
Okay.
He was in the recent Quiet Place movie, and he's going to be Johnny Storm in the new Fantastic Four. So I'm excited to see that. But he's like one of those guys.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Other than that, I don't really know. I don't really care.
Somebody texting what the fast lane is going on in this segment.
Yeah.
It's it's the six-pack.
It's a six-pack.
I added a question.
You did. That's all right. All right, we'll continue the sports six-pack next on 101 ESPN.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
All right, let's continue our Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Marsh, go.
Question number 3.
All right, this one comes from Billy in Fenton, or from Fenton.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill. I got a question for the six-pack. Is it more appealing for a free agent to go to Kansas City to play with Patrick Mahomes or a player to go to Buffalo and play with Josh Allen?
Depends on who you are.
What position is it?
Yeah.
Like, I would assume they're speaking of a receiver. Let's just say a receiver.
Then I'll say Mahomes.
I would agree.
Because I think Josh Allen kind of, it's clear he is the offense. I mean, not that Mahomes isn't the offense in Kansas City, but I think that, well, geez, I was about to say Josh Allen will move the ball around a lot, but so does Mahomes. But Allen's got more rushing ability and things like that.
You can't go wrong going either.
I think, yeah, but I'd rather play for Mahomes and Andy Reid than, and this isn't a knock or anything, Josh Allen and Joe Brady. I think Joe Brady's young, talented, up-and-coming play caller, but I mean, you get a chance to play in Andy Reid's offense with Mahomes. I'd go there.
Yeah, how'd they do, Anthony?
Not great.
They went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess you're right. They did beat Buffalo.
Won another AFC West, which, I mean, if you're the Cardinals, that's
huge.
It's reason to hang a banner, you know?
Yeah.
Period.
It's not enough.
But for the Chiefs, not enough for them.
What do you guys think of John Hamm opening things up for the Chiefs at the Super Bowl? Being from St. Louis.
Hey, it's okay.
No, I was just wondering.
Yeah, I was fine with it. He doesn't have I don't feel like he has a football team.
Well, it's probably the Chiefs.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, we know he's a Blues fan.
Right.
If he did that for Nashville, then I think he needs, to be taken to the woodshed. Mm-hmm. But that's not Ham. That's not our Hammer time. He wouldn't do that.
No.
Yeah. No, so I was fine with it.
Question number 4.
From the 636, do you guys think that the Cardinals should get a grace period this coming season since it is a rebuild? I'm excited to see the young guys play and see what they got. Even though the Blues have not been the best this year, and that's putting it nicely, I still watch every game because the Blues management was honest with the fans, saying that they are going to struggle because of the retool.
I'm going to answer that question this way. Do I think they should get a pass because we know they're going into a retool? Yeah. We know what the objective is. It's not necessarily to win a championship. I mean, you can't go into the off season and say, well, we're not going to make any moves outside of the Hellman mayonnaise guy and say we're competing.
Michael Hillman.
You might as well enjoy watching some of the young guys get a chance. If they get a chance, though. If it's the rotation, if the starting rotation is Sonny Gray, Miles Michaelis, Eric Fetty, Steven Matz, and Andre Palante for the majority of the year, I'm going to be ticked.
You don't think that's a winning recipe, Anthony?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay.
Plus, it's not giving your young guys an opportunity.
Well,
just my thoughts.
Do the Cardinals get a pass?
Like, am I going to be sitting here saying, "Oh, you're not in first place in April. This is inexcusable"? No, absolutely not.
I think I'm okay to give them a pass, like what you said. If the younger players are playing, and they're not great, because younger players usually, especially when you have a bunch of them, they usually aren't great. Like, it's
right.
Part of the reason why but they're learning and they're getting better, and you can accept it to a degree.
Yeah,
right?
Right.
Now, if they were the same way 3 years from now, then you're like, okay, these guys think it's time to move on.
Yourself.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I think you get a pass this year, especially if you make the decision to play your younger guys.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 5.
From the 314, should golf, Anthony, you were mentioning golf earlier and how you love the sport, love playing it.
I don't
From
think
the 314, should golf have a shot clock?
Nah.
So they do have one in the new league that Tiger Woods put together, TGL. Mm-hmm. It's a simulator. You should actually check it out. It's really cool.
I've seen it from time to time.
They do have a shot clock, though.
Yeah.
I think Anthony thinks golf should do something different.
No, I don't. I think golf. I think golf is what it is. I think with Major League Baseball, we've tinkered with it a lot. I've been okay with the pitch clock because it has sped up the game a little bit, but I also wonder if that's why we're not seeing pitchers pitch deeper into games. Or they don't have the mentality of, I'm not just a 5 and dive guy. I'm not going to throw max effort for 5 innings and then I'm out and everybody congratulates me.
They get paid regardless.
They do, but I wonder if all
you do less work and get paid more money. Come on.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But I think golf is fine. Like the people that love golf, they know it's played at a slower pace. They want their athletes to be completely focused. I don't think we need to speed everything up just because that's where we're at as a society.
I think that we do all these different games and events and whatever it is with the Brizzuto show. And typically we win.
Great point.
I think we should have a 4-man scramble. Okay. 18 holes with the Rizzuto show.
All right.
I actually would like that.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun. I feel like we're all on like a even playing field. Right?
I would think so. When was the last time What was the last time you golfed?
Last year.
Okay. Marsh?
Well, last year, yeah, 2024.
Okay.
I haven't been out yet.
All right.
And nor have I.
Yeah.
Every year, though, I say I'm going to play more.
Oh, for sure.
Every year, I don't play more.
My daughter Madeline is 8. The last time I golfed was 8 years ago.
Wow.
So I'm a little rusty.
What?
Yeah.
We should get you out to the range.
Not your jam, Anthony?
It's fine. I'm just, I'm busy.
I don't know that you believe that.
That I'm not busy?
No, I know you're busy.
Oh.
That is fine. The game.
Oh, I like it. Not very good at it, but
Can you like something if you haven't done it in 8 years?
Yeah. I didn't say I loved it. I didn't say I love golf. It's one of my hobbies. When was the last time you golfed? 8 years ago.
I would assume being married, it is tough to get away for 4 to 5 hours to essentially say, hey, I'm going to go golf and drink beers for 4 to 5 hours.
I mean, 4 to 5 hours is a minimum.
If you got kids, that's definitely
exactly.
Yeah. 3 kids.
I feel like that's tough.
Yeah.
You got to find time and,
Yeah, there's not a lot. So
and if you get 4 or 5 hours, you probably don't want to be outside walking, sweating.
No, you got to get a cart. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Well, you still got to walk. No carts allowed, Marshy. Got some areas.
45, degree angle, some signs.
Either way, if we're competing, I'm in.
There's no sign that says you can't drive on the, on the fairway. Like,
sometimes. Been on the way.
Yeah, it's
we don't have to go to a great golf course,
Yeah. We're not talking about your backyard, though, Marsh. I mean,
if I had a golf course in my backyard, I'd be way better than I am now.
Mm-hmm.
Way better.
Yeah.
I'd be actually to get one off the tee and keep it straight.
There you go. Massive slice. All right, let's provide Cardinals fans with some optimism, all right? A little positivity. What do you think, boys?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to tell you why.
Are we going no glasses, too?
No glasses.
Oh.
This is actual opinion. Actual opinion from us, okay? Right. What should give Cardinal fans optimism when it comes to the upcoming season? If you've been one of these people that have been complaining because we complain about the Cardinals, well, this next segment is for you. And only one segment. That's next on 101 ESPN. I went to Mentality today. I'm on their program, and I can't say enough great things about them. I go to the South County location, but there's also one in Chesterfield that I know Jamie frequents. 2 locations, outstanding people, and it's about your health, right? So if you're a guy, you're constantly feeling that fatigue, or you've got low energy, you don't know how to shed the weight, you're not consistent within the gym, but you know you've got more to give. Maybe you got mood swings, irritability. All these are symptoms of low testosterone. So when you go down to Mentality, if you're feeling like you lost your edge, tell them. Their clinic, their physicians, board-certified physicians, they'll walk you through a very basic process in which you tell them how you're feeling. They'll ask you simple questions, and then they'll draw your blood. And if you are a candidate for their program, they'll tell you then, say, hey, look, you're low on testosterone, some other vitamins, nothing to be embarrassed of, because after a while, when you jump on their program, and I think it's fairly quick, too, certainly within a month, even a couple of weeks, all of a sudden you start to feel like, man, I got a little more energy today. I got, I just mowed the lawn, but there's some other projects I want to tackle around the house. Or maybe you get home and after a long day of work and you still got a lot of energy to play with the kids and things like that. That's what it's all about. It's about improving your health so that you can feel at your absolute best. Head down to one of their 2 locations. Tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you in there when you do go to Mentality. You can visit them at lowtusa.com, but stop chasing supplements don't work, or burning money, or just feeling crappy throughout your day. Head into Mentality. It works. It's fantastic. The people there are great as well. It's Mentality. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's funny that Carey was just walking in right before the segment came back, and Marsh said, I thought you were going to skip this segment, CD.
I was debating it.
Yeah.
He told me I couldn't wear my glasses, and I was like, well, how am I going to do this?
No glasses. This is real talk, okay? What should give Cardinals fans real optimism when it comes to the upcoming season? And no snark either, okay?
I'm serious.
This is not a fast lane segment.
No, I think you should be Well, you should be excited about Mason Wynn. He had a really good season last year. I think it's only up from there. I think you should be excited about – I still think you should be excited about Jordan Walker and his potential and him playing every single day. You know, not we're only going to bat him against lefties, even though he doesn't hit lefties well. Those are the dumbest idea I'd heard. I don't know. I'm sorry. We're positive.
Yeah, what the?
I can't help it, Anthony. Sometimes I just get frustrated.
Come on, man.
So Jordan Walker batting, playing in the field every single day. You should be excited about Wilson Contreras playing first base, and not jokingly, but again, we talked about it earlier. He's probably going to be much healthier playing first base than he was behind the plate.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an opportunity. I don't want to say if, because if is, it's iffy. But Lars Nootbaar, if he stays healthy, what can he be?
According to the numbers, baseball god.
Outstanding,
Yeah.
right? But you got to stay healthy in order to do that. I think the Cardinals have some really good young players with a lot of potential. Potential is a dangerous word in sports because it means you haven't seen it yet. Like you feel like it's there. The talent, the ability, you feel like all of it is there, but you have not seen it yet. That's why you say that person has potential. I think the Cardinals have a lot of potential in their lineup, in their positions, in their skill positions, in their fielding positions, but I don't know that we just need to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't gotten to the pitching staff. I'll let you handle that.
Okay, I'll handle the pitching staff right now. Reason for optimism. Steven Matz is likely to get hurt at some point, which will open up the opportunity.
What?
Let me
That's
finish.
Not positive.
Let me finish.
Yeah, but you can't say someone's going to get hurt.
I didn't say he's going to. I said he's likely to.
That's not positive, Anthony.
That guy's getting injured in this situation. There's nothing positive about that.
I don't want him to get hurt.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying he's likely to.
I don't know.
You've seen the last couple of seasons.
Marsh, I don't know if he understood the assignment.
He's the one that came up with it.
I did. I totally pitched this idea. No, listen. Steven Matz is likely to get hurt, which means that opens up an opportunity for a young guy to come in and pitch. And I think that's great.
Okay.
Micah McGreevy coming in, getting his shot finally, right? Maybe Miles Michaelis isn't effective. And it opens up another chance for another young guy to come in. You got a couple of young guys.
That sounds
pitching.
like a crap sandwich to me.
Well, at some point we could see this happen. And you know what? The young players always provide that optimism, that hope. Okay?
I don't think the fans understand the premise of this segment either.
I saw somebody in the snake pit say there's only 162 games. That's positive.
We have from the 314, this is real. I'm optimistic because this is Mo's last year. No more condescending half-truths. Yeah, that's from Rambo.
Yeah, is that positive?
Yeah, Rambo's being positive.
314 says excited about Oli getting fired. I don't know.
What I'm saying, I don't think.
Well, you just got kicked out.
I think they understand the concept.
I'm positive he will be hurt at some point. There you go, positivity from the 618.
Gator just came in and said, "Good basketball on tonight."
See,
that's where we're at right now.
Playing in the National League Central is the only good chance for the Cardinals.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Can I rephrase that?
Is it though? Those teams are getting better.
They play in the NL Central.
It's not. I don't think they understand. I don't think you or me or any of us really understand the concept of this segment. It was to be positive, not snarky, not, yeah.
I got one.
I'm excited that every day of the season is a day closer to football. What the hell,
Did you text that in there?
My bad. I didn't think you'd read it.
All right, I have a real one here. Brant Brown, he's the new hitting coach.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been...
A lot of people are like, who the hell is this guy?
Well, yes, but also they just have not liked the hitting coaches. And we actually talked about that earlier in the show, how people just, whatever they rally around wanting to fire offensive coordinators and hitting coaches. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people have raved about this guy. And two of the people that have been really excited about what he has to bring to this team is Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman, the two guys that we essentially need answers from this season. And so I'm actually excited to see what this offense looks like with these young players under Brant Brown. Like, I feel like the Cardinals are bringing in, while there's still people in the front office and in the coaching, on the coaching staff that I'm sure fans don't love, I think they are bringing people on that will make a positive impact on this team. And maybe we don't see it in the first couple of months. It might not translate right away to wins, and the Cardinals could still miss the playoffs, but I think with some of these players, what he can bring will ultimately lead to future success.
Mm-hmm.
That felt
that's
good.
great.
Yeah, it felt
that's
great.
nice.
That felt real good.
All good?
You sounded like that was good.
All right.
Good job.
Reason for optimism. The Cardinals are getting away from being a retirement home for older players.
Yeah,
Solid.
Again.
Bazooka Tooth 75 mentioned how the special projects will be handled very well around the front office. So there's that.
The 314 says, I'm positive that bacon-wrapped wieners will be more expensive than last year. That stinks. That stinks. I love the
raise prices on the wiener.
Could you imagine if they raise prices this year? Especially on the bacon-wrapped wieners.
Nah, they can't.
Those things are so good. Do you ever get one?
No.
I've never had one.
You need to get one. You need to get one. I always get mine right by the left field foul pole.
Okay.
So the entrance right across from Ballpark Village, not the one where we usually camp out at when we go there for opening day.
Okay.
But towards the Katie's Pizza side of things. So right there, right in left field. It's just right. You just walk straight. You walk straight, and it's to the left. And there's a team store to the right. Mm-hmm. That's where you can get your bacon-wrapped wieners. And I'm sure they have other ones around the stadium as well, but that's where I go to get mine.
We're going to be at opening day, right? We're going to be there.
Yeah, darn right we're going to be there.
Why aren't we
49
at
and a half feet away from the stadium?
Why aren't we at spring training? Anybody?
They don't want us there.
The Cardinals?
Yeah.
Why not? We're good people. I'm a good person.
We don't talk positively about their team.
You pay taxes?
I pay my taxes.
We don't talk positively about the team, and even when we try, it turns into one sarcastic mess of 8 minutes.
I won't be here on opening day.
What do you mean you won't be here?
I'll be out of town. It's actually my birthday this year.
What?
It was your birthday every year.
Well, I know.
Anthony, it might just be me and you. The Blues are out of town, too.
Is on my birthday.
Opening day is on your birthday this year?
Yeah, March 27th.
That's crazy. My opening day was on my birthday 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, remember?
No.
Remember?
You don't? No. Marsh, you were there.
30th?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. I just don't remember the exact date. I don't remember celebrating your birthday.
March 29th?
No, March 30th.
March 30th?
But I'm trying to think of who they played.
Oh.
So
what year?
You had the
23?
it was 2 years
22.
ago.
Oh, I could tell you. So they played they played the Blue Jays. They played the Blue Jays. Last year they played the Pirates.
It was the game in which
they lost 11 to 9 or something.
They had a lead, then blew it late.
Yeah.
Yep. Remember the theme?
23.
Yeah. Yep.
That was a microcosm of their entire season.
Yes, it was.
It was cold that day, too.
It was very cold that day. Yeah. Jamie predicted that those same two teams would play in the World Series that day.
Yeah. They did.
He was feeling it. Yeah. No, not at all.
Not great.
Yep. Anyways, I think we accomplished it, guys.
Good job, fellas.
So you're not going to be here opening day?
I'll be in Hawaii.
What are we going to do? It's just going to be me and you.
Well, we can handle it.
Well, I know we can, but
I'll be paying attention. I won't be paying attention. Oh, see.
Well, no, when your Dodgers play that day. I'm sure you'll be locked into them.
That's really the opening day I should be looking at. I'm sorry.
Unbelievable.
I was trying to be positive for this segment.
All right, so we did our positive segment. Nice job, guys.
Good job.
Now, what exactly is the game plan for the Cardinals this offseason? Because it makes no sense. We'll talk about it next on 101 ESPN. So we let off the show today talking about the comments that Jeff Passan had made about the Cardinals, the front office, and how other front offices around Major League Baseball are, quote, confounded by what the approach is this offseason for the Cardinals. So I'll repeat what Jeff Passan wrote, and this is via STL Sports Central on Twitter. Unless the Cardinals are willing to budge on the money they'll retain in a Nolan Arenado trade, Boston's interest is iffy, according to Jeff Passan. Other reported landing spots include the Yankees and Dodgers, are seen as long shots. Passan goes on to write that when it comes to deviating from its analytical model, that's not Boston's style. The Red Sox will set a number they're willing to take on. Passan mentions that St. Louis's lack of aggressiveness in dealing their talent is confounding executives around the industry. Dealing Arenado all comes down to the Cardinals being willing to eat more money on his remaining 3-year, $64 million deal. So I ask you guys, and this is a bit rhetorical, but what exactly was the game plan this offseason? Because if it was to shed salary, they don't trade Arenado to a team that's willing to accept that salary. Did they really accomplish that feat? I know that they didn't bring back Paul Goldschmidt, but that's more, they didn't take on new salary as opposed to shedding it. Was it to improve? If so, I don't think you got much better. I don't know if you got worse, but you didn't get better this offseason. Opening up playing spots. Well, you moved Wilson Contreras to first base to open up the full-time catching duties to Herrera and Paez, but you also, in theory, also blocked Alec Burleson from playing first base full-time.
I'm okay-ish.
Third base, if Arenado doesn't get dealt, you didn't open up that spot for Gorman. Or is it giving opportunities to youngsters? Because you really didn't accomplish that either. So I ask you, Carey Davis, what exactly was the game plan for the Cardinals this offseason?
To shed Nolan Arenado's salary. Full stop.
That's not happening.
That was their game plan. It was the larger amount of money. Because if it was all money, we've talked about it, you'd feel comfortable with moving on from, well, maybe you couldn't move on from Miles Michaelis or Steven Matz. Maybe there's no market for them and you were stuck with that contract. At Nolan Arenado, you felt like, oh, we can possibly move him because he's more teams would be more interested in him than any of the other players that we have, not named Ryan Helsley. Mm-hmm. But you were unable to do that. So, or until this point, you have been unable to do that. It's been sort of a failed process. And I think I said it earlier, like if you are the Cardinals and you make it known that priority 1, 2, and 3 is trading this person away, I was blown away that the Astros were willing to take $50 million of the salary. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like, you know, when you it's like if you're selling a house and somebody offers you a nice amount of money, you're like, oh yeah, that's the number I want. But then the deal falls through, and then you come back to reality, and the next number you get is nowhere near close to that number you got. No, I know I can get that number because I had it before. Yeah, you don't have it now.
It was yesterday's number.
Today's number is a lot lower.
Yeah,
and you're frustrated. You're like, no, they were going to buy it for that. Yeah, you're not getting that anymore. Mm-hmm. So readjust your thinking, put your big boy pants on, and if you need to move him, then you move him. But you're probably going to have more of the salary on your books than you planned when you were going to trade him to the Astros.
Right.
And that's just where we are now. Mm-hmm. The thought process of getting more off is probably not happening. So you got to deal with it, or you shut your mouth and you put him at third base and you pay him.
Which is very likely to happen.
It looks like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the game plan was, like what Carey said, to offload a lot of money. Mm-hmm. I think that they wanted Contreras gone, and I think that they wanted Gray gone as well. But at the same time, spin it and say that, oh, we're going with a youth movement because that is a byproduct of getting rid of the money because you have to do that. And ultimately, at the same time, put a competitive-ish ball club out there to mitigate the amount of people that will not show up this season to watch this team. But you can't have all of it. You can't have all of it.
I was about to say, Marsh, the way that you described it is perfect because that, I think, is what the Cardinals' approach was. And I'm confused.
And I think they failed at it.
Well, because you've got so many, you're trying to accomplish so many different things. Mm-hmm. Well, we kind of want to be competitive so we don't piss off the fans, but we also need to shed salary, and we also have a tough market to deal with because nobody wants Arenado. Oh, we found somebody, but he nixed that trade, so we got him. What's the game plan for Ryan Helsley, too? Are you going to sign him?
No.
Why is he still here?
Because you want to win games, and he's a guy that can win you games in the ninth if you do have a lead, and they in their mind, need to win games to make sure that people still have interest in this team as the summer goes along.
Right.
The thing with...
So they win 83 games. He has a bunch of saves, but they keep him.
Whatever. Maybe his his value goes up at the deadline. With the starting pitching, I think, and we talked about this earlier, I think they're afraid to be down in games because they don't have the trust in these young pitchers. Mm-hmm. I think they're afraid to be down early in games, which in some way does not help their offense because either they're pressing, they're trying to do things that they shouldn't do because they're already down 4-0 in the first inning. I think they're maybe afraid of going that route because they don't have that level of trust or they don't know what they have out of these young guys at a major league level. So they go back to what's safe, which is Miles Mikolas, Steven Matz, Eric Fetty, and you're going to get out of Sonny Gray.
Right.
That's what I think. And it's all going to play out. It's going to play out the exact same thing that we've seen the last 2-3 years. It's going to be the same thing.
Well, that makes me sad for all of us, except for Carey.
Unless they
He's a Dodger fan now.
Unless these guys take their game to another level. Otherwise, things won't change.
I do think there is some change that will happen, but we're gonna have to wait a year.
Yeah,
another year.
Because Mo.
Well, why? This is crazy.
I know. I'm with you.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
It's crazy, man.
But
crazy,
I like you.
Man.
But this feels like This is like a dead man walking year.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's like. You know what? I'm going to be here. I signed that deal, and I'm going to be here.
Yeah, I kind of just want them to switch it. Just switch it now. Let's get it going.
Move him into a different... Put him next to Gersh.
It's like the boulder, Anthony. The boulder that we were talking about at the beginning of the show.
Vociferous.
I think his name's
Sisyphus. That boulder. Sassafras. Moving that boulder up that hill, huh? You silly sassafras. Anyways, put him next to Gersh. Give him an assignment and let Bloom take over. Why are we waiting a year? Makes no sense to me.
When you hear that other front offices are confounded by what the Cardinals are doing, how does that make you feel?
Sad.
They're
frustrated, angry.
They're all together what the hell are these guys doing?
I called them about Helsley.
What the hell are they doing?
Called them about Helsley. No, we're going to keep him. I said, okay, well, I got a nice trade package for you. No, we're good. Want to win.
Win what? Win.
Mason win?
Yeah.
How does it make you feel? Same deal, right?
It frustrates me.
Other front offices they're confounded.
It's disheartening and it's frustrating because you're I just don't know. I don't know what the plan is, what the thought process is, and what you're trying to do or trying to get done, get accomplished.
That's
right.
Exactly.
What are you trying to get accomplished?
They don't know.
Because if all of these things, if you could have done it last year, you could have done it at the trade deadline last year, right? You could have moved Helsley and gotten a lot for him in that moment.
It's too late now.
You were planning on trying to win, and it didn't work out.
Well, this goes back to
Sad Panda, by the way, says Cardinals season equals Chiefs Super Bowl performance.
Oh, no.
Which one?
I'm assuming Sad Panda means this year.
This goes back to our conversation about the ownership and the people that are trying to run the team. A lot of people don't care for Oli Marmol. I don't know if Oli Marmol's really gotten a chance to actually manage the team that he wanted. Right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't. Who's really hindering this organization? You know, are we having, well, hey, like Mo could be like, hey, like we need to move on from, and ownership could be like, well, yeah, but we need butts in the seats.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Like,
look, it all starts at the top. This leadership, it all starts at the top. It all starts with the ownership group. They put restrictions on Mo. Mo does what he can. It hadn't been great lately.
Mm-hmm.
And then Oli does what he can, but it starts at the top. In Philadelphia, they're saying, hey, Dave Dombrowski, blank check. All right, cool. I'll bring in Trey Turner and all the other All-Stars. Dodgers, blank check. Okay. Those GMs aren't being handcuffed. And this isn't like a pro-Mo thing, because Mo has done less with what he's given too.
Mm-hmm.
But it starts with ownership. So we're two things removed, two rungs removed with Oli. To answer your question, to add to what you're saying about whether or not Oli is the team he wants, probably not. Anyways, well, I'm depressed again.
Yeah, we should have done that.
We should have done the positive on this one. Yeah.
You should have done this first.
Not bad. All right, let's bet the board next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Jordan Bennington announced today that he will be the starter for Team Canada in the Four Nations tournament. Canada will take on Sweden tomorrow, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Tonight we'll have some college hoops for you. Creighton going up against UConn. Pregame starts at 7:45. Tip-off is at 8. And after the show, we'll have an instant replay, Cardinals edition. So you'll hear some interviews from earlier this morning. TMA had some Cardinal baseball players on the show, so tune into that after we're done here in the Fast Lane. If you miss anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our shows there. That's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We're going to bet the board next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Time to bet the board here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. Marsh, I know you were looking at some of the scores from last night. Do you have our updated standings?
You and Jamie. Jamie, man, those Wizards, man, they really come through, don't they?
I kind of like his approach. He said they worked for CD, so I don't know. Maybe I'll hop on board. And
you going there again tonight?
They don't play. No, so he's taking Toronto. The Raptors plus 10.
Wow.
Yeah, they're in Philly. He said the big underdog worked for me last night, and I'm going to go right back to the well. Yep.
Okay.
You one of those updated standings, Anthony?
I certainly do.
Oh, perfect, because you right now have 3 points in the month of February. Jamie is leading the pack with 5 points. Carey has 2 points, and I'm tied with you, Anthony, with 3 points.
Well, March, you want to go ahead?
No, we'll have you go.
All right.
Typically, it's age, before beauty, so.
Wow. Yeah.
God, you're old and not attractive.
Holy smokes.
It's the same guy that doesn't like to be called handsome.
Seriously.
You know?
Yeah, all of a sudden he's like, oh, call me handsome now.
What? Age before intelligence.
Is
that better?
So you're old and not smart.
Pick my ass off the ground here. Michigan. Give me the Michigan Wolverines. It's good to be a Michigan Wolverine. Minus 1.5 in the first half against Purdue. Against Purdue.
Hope the Boilermakers take care of business.
It's good to be a Michigan Wolverine. It's good.
Who would know?
To be a Michigan Wolverine.
I'll never sing that song.
What was your play, Anthony?
Michigan minus 1.5 first half.
Okay, I'll take Michigan minus 2.5 in the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to try it again. Give me John Morant, 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Okay.
Over. 34.5. Hope he goes for 35 points.
Knowing you, he probably will.
He should.
Because I feel like when you do these, typically.
Did it yesterday, and Luka didn't know he was on a minutes restriction, though.
Well, that hurts.
Like, why does he only have 14
That's a tough
points?
one. You know?
He didn't
That's
play
a
the
tough
whole game.
one.
All right.
Yeah. Wait. Did he get hurt again?
Oh, gosh.
Nope. Just on a minutes restriction.
Need to know these things, you know?
Yeah.
It helps. It helps.
What do you think about that? Obviously, he's coming off an injury, so I get it. But, like, if you buy tickets to go see that game, don't you expect him to play the full game?
You'd like to think so.
Now,
You would think.
They did
You would hope.
blow out Utah.
Yeah.
So,
Beat the hell out of those guys.
Boy, that was a rough one. So I had the over for bet the board in that game. and the Lakers were scoring at will, and I'm like, hey, Utah, can we pick it up just a little bit, maybe? It's like 100-57 or something at one point. I'm like, this isn't good. Fortunately, though, the Lakers started to play their typical defense. Utah got into the action, and I think they scored about 287 points. So, worked out.
We got a question.
I don't think it was that much, but whatever.
Moving on from basketball, please.
Yeah.
From the 314.
Okay. Wow. All right, text line.
Oh, wow. 314. Hey, guys. Matt from St. Peter's here. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt. Do you think Jordan Bennington will give up his typical 4 goals tomorrow?
Oh, wow.
No. All the snark. That was for the Cardinals. Not
not for
what the heck?
Not for Bennington.
Wow.
No, I don't think he'll give up his typical 4 goals. Who they got tomorrow? Finland?
They have Sweden.
Yeah.
He's got really good defense in front of him.
Okay.
Really good offense.
Yeah.
Good forwards. I think he'll be
just a good team.
Yeah, granted, he'll be going up against a really good team, too. And hey, I don't want to say the Blues' defense is bad by any means. Like, they've been a lot better than they have been. They got some good pieces back there. It's just a little bit. It's just different, Anthony. You know, it's just different.
I hear you. No, I do.
Different players. Some of the best in the Canadian country of Canada.
Of Canada. Okay, good. Nice. All right. That'll do for Bet the Board. When we return, we're going to tell you what we learned. We're going to tell you our 3 stars of the day. And maybe hand out some criticisms and compliments, although Marsh already got the party started there.
I'm sorry, Anthony.
No, it's fine.
No, I'm
sorry. It's fine. Hey, listen, what's rule number 1 in the fast lane?
Oh, nobody's safe.
Exactly, including me.
I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. I'll talk to my therapist later.
Okay.
All right, we'll wrap up the show next on 101 ESPN.
That you feel that way.
I love the Arch Madness tournament. It comes here each and every year. And when it comes to this year's tournament, you can check them out March 6th through the 9th. It's the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament, and they've got several sessions. In fact, they got 6 sessions going on starting Thursday, March 6th, all the way through the championship game, which will be at 1 p.m. at Enterprise Center on Sunday, March 9th. They offer the Family Fun Pack. You can go to a game. It's a single-session game. You get 4 tickets, 4 large sodas, and 4 regular popcorns. So you talk about something that's fun, it's affordable. Maybe you are a Drake Bulldog fan. They're in first place right now in the Missouri Valley Conference. A lot of local teams, though, that are around here, whether it's Southern Illinois, Illinois State, Missouri State. Bradley, they've got a great tournament, and the Enterprise Center does a tremendous job of hosting it. So, again, if you want to go see the Arch Madness tournament, pick out one of the single-session games that you like, and for the Family Fun Pack, that $104 gets you the 4 single session tickets, the 4 large sodas, and the 4 regular popcorns. Can't wait for the Arch Madness Missouri Valley Conference Tournament to come March 6th through the 9th. miss anything from today's show, including how we were very positive about the Cardinals, gave you a couple optimistic things to think about for the season, you can always download the podcasts available at 101ESPN.com or on your Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. All the podcasts brought to you by, of course.
I thought I was wrong.
I screwed up.
I thought I was
brought
wrong.
Brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. There you go.
I screwed up.
That's all right.
I was
like a little quick on the
That's
gun.
what I get for giving Anthony a big old crap sandwich in the last segment.
He even gave me the, I'm sorry. How'd you feel that
karma.
way, right? Yeah, that was tough. So, sorry, CD, because I know you're the one that looks forward to that.
Yeah, I do.
And that's what I'm most disappointed is that I ruined it for Carey.
Yeah, sure. There's another crap sandwich for me.
Things happen.
All this week, the morning after is broadcasting live from Cardinal Spring Training in Jupiter, Florida. Don't miss TMA live from Roger Dean all week long. The guys are doing a great job down in Florida. Brought to you by CarStar, your auto body repair experts, and by Sumner One, print and business technology solutions that keep your workplace humming. Don't forget as well, Marsh, you're going to be part of this. Help heat up St. Louis this Friday morning during the 25th annual Hardee's Rise and Shine fundraiser. Stop by any participating Hardee's in the bi-state area this Friday morning and grab a sausage biscuit or egg biscuit for just $1. 100% of the proceeds of all funds collected will help heat up St. Louis, supporting people in need in both Missouri and Illinois. That's this Friday morning at any participating Hardee's. Find out more at 101ESPN.com. Marsh is going to be out in South County.
One sausage.
One sausage.
Well, I guess it's not a McMuffin.
Yeah.
Different place. Well, maybe if they would have went to Hardee's, they would have got their breakfast that day.
You know what's funny? I almost said that exact thing, but I stopped myself because of that right there, what you just said. Yeah, one sausage biscuit. All right, Marsh. What do you want to accomplish here? Why don't you tell us what you learned today?
What did I learn today? I learned a lot of things. I learned that you like golf.
He doesn't.
8 years ago.
I do like golf.
You haven't played golf in 8 years. Which is...
I haven't played in a while.
I feel you can
bad,
like something if you haven't played it in 8 years.
No, I feel like he does like it. He just hasn't been able to play. But 8 years, like, that's just... I feels like there's just a hole that needs to be filled. You know?
No, I mean, it's
with a
fine.
golf ball.
With a golf ball.
Yeah, it's
it might
it's all
take
good.
6 times to fill that hole.
It might.
It's okay.
Especially haven't played in a while.
But we'll fill that hole, Anthony, once we go golfing.
That's right.
I learned that none of us think that Brian Schottenheimer will be a coach after this year. I think we all think he's one and done. What the hell, man?
Some think he's a placeholder.
For who?
I don't know.
Okay.
That makes it even worse if you're a Cowboys fan. Yeah. I learned that Andrew Marsh is vicious sometimes.
Yeah.
And while it's true, nobody is safe, both he and his friends don't like me.
That's not true at all. You gave my friend a high five the other day.
I did, yeah.
That was a different friend.
Yeah, no, your friends are great. Not
That's
that one
funny.
guy, but everybody else. The guys I met were great.
Yeah, that other guy.
The other guy's kind of a fool.
Yeah.
Doesn't listen very well.
Yeah.
Marsh, what do we got for criticisms and compliments?
Oh, let's see if we have any that aren't from me. No, I'm kidding. Let's see here. We might have to go to the snake pit. We're not really getting any right now. I guess
No
they didn't like the
compliments?
I guess they didn't
I
like
got
the
one.
show.
AB said Jamie would have got fired today. So
that a criticism?
From the golf talk, probably.
Gator said I learned half of the chat. Can't see Ryan's chat. I don't know who that is.
Huh. Is he blocked?
Yeah.
You guys block Ryan?
Yeah.
You guys like Ryan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's Ryan?
I don't know.
Is he in the snake pit?
Oh,
Might
maybe
be.
not. Droid FX said facts, Gator. He made a lot of people mad. I don't know. Did Ryan tick people off?
I don't know.
Yeah, Ryan.
Ryan's being a real Mac right now.
Ryan is macking? The snake pit? It's terrible.
I ain't seen Mac in a while, man.
Oh, man.
Mac came around the one day, threw us all a couple shots, threw some people,
got out.
threw some people some shots in the snake pit, but then returned the next day, and we haven't seen him since.
Yeah.
He's on vacation.
Maybe.
All right, let's get to our 3 stars of the day. Our third star of the day is going to go out to one of Anthony's favorite actresses, Meryl Streep.
Yeah, Meryl Streep. Outstanding.
Devil Wears Prada.
Yep.
Yes. Second star of the day. Speaking of people in the snake pit, looks like we got a new person in the snake pit, at least that I've seen today. Former friend that used to play Major League Baseball, Hambone Williams.
All right, Hambone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hambone.
Okay.
Hambone. And of course, our first star. I think that this is a unanimous first star. It's got to go to Sisyphus.
Yeah.
Pushing that boulder uphill.
Hey, push that boulder uphill.
By the way, he never made it.
Never made it.
No,
hell.
his punishment was to always be pushing that boulder
Okay, yeah,
up
that
the
makes
hill.
more sense.
Wow. Yeah.
That's awful, man.
Wow.
Tough. So might be a while till your favorite teams.
So he's
good
still
again.
doing it, basically.
It's probably wherever he is. I don't know what hill he's on, but
right.
The hell he died on.
Boy, you got to be strong, man.
To push a boulder uphill?
For your entire life. Like, at some point, that thing's just going to
It's kind of weighing on you. Yeah, you want to get out of the way.
I don't think you can. You're at least losing
limb.
an Achilles.
Wow.
You know?
It's tough.
And have that thing shattered.
that's a different guy.
Yeah.
It's true.
Different movie.
Yeah, different movie. Yep.
Yeah.
Different documentary.
I wonder what a movie about Sisyphus would be like.
I mean,
how
that's
long
tough
it'd
if you know what happens.
Yeah.
That's tough to stick with. Like, wow, I'm just going to watch this guy
all day long
roll this boulder up the hill and know
it's never going to get there.
It's never going to get there.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Maybe they'll change the ending like they do a lot of things.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, we have Creighton, the Blue Jays.
And?
Versus my Yukon Huskies. Can't wait. March is rolling around. That's when I really become a Yukon Husky fan. Pre-game right here on 101 ESPN starting at 7:45. But we got some instant replay for you until then. For our guy, Jamie Rivers, who's out all week on vacation, Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. See ya.